And a big welcome to TCH Houston for some 1-3 no limit hold'em action. Hello, everybody. I am Wes Tucker. I'll be keeping you company throughout tonight's action. We've got ourselves a good lineup and more stellar players on the way, but we begin tonight five-handed. We will not be five-handed for long as Ryan will wake up with our first hand of the day. And that's going to be sixes from under the gun.
We're not going to do this hand. This hand is on street. Call. Okay, so straddles on C2, 6. John
we wait for everything to catch up. Hope everybody is having a fantastic Thursday evening. And thank you again for spending your Thursday evening with us. Love hanging out with you each week.
You robbed me last time we played the live stream.
Got some familiar faces, some new names to go with those faces as well, as you see Kings into Aces making an appearance. Normal player on the 1-2 stream, also a fixture in the 1-3 streams as of late.
Look at that hat. You're definitely smoking something.
Sixes against 7-5. The backdoor flush draw is going to lead out.
That's awesome.
Does take the call and now does manage to turn a 7. So Ryan drawing to a 6 and only a 6. To the river, it's a jack.
Put the show. Put on the show.
Let's go check on the river, and the 7 is good. So number 1 draft pick, or as you may know him as Ethan, from the final table of the $150,000 guaranteed tournament that was streamed just a few days ago here from Houston. Of course, a lot of great tournaments being broadcast from Houston, including the Lips final table, and all available. Yeah, I wasn't ignoring you, Frank. A very good evening to you as well. Hope everybody is doing fantastic as we settle in for a long night of high-octane Texas poker. And the seats are continuing to fill up. More players are on the way, but plenty of action on the horizon. And speaking of action on the horizon, if you haven't already marked those calendars, now is the time to do it, because the Poker Atlas Tour will make another stop here at Texas Card House Houston. That's going to be April 10th through the 22nd. 16 trophy events, all culminating in a $500,000 guaranteed main event. So mark those calendars. It's going to be a fun few days of poker from TCH Houston.
They will.
Had some fantastic events the last time the Atlas Tour was in town, as well as some great live streams to go along with it.
No, I cannot get it off his quad.
We get the rest of the players. Michael making another appearance. The kid was on fire not too long ago. It was a couple weeks ago in a 1-3 stream that we saw him catch fire. And, of course, A-Town in the chat giving us the inside scoop on Joe, who's going by Ryan tonight. A-Town telling us he's a crusher. Can't wait to see him work tonight. Let's see how it goes. We get back into the action here. Joe got game. Ryan going heads up. Flop coming, jack high, rainbow. So top pair for Ryan. Now we'll see the crusher bet into it. And Joe with a gutter ball at this point as we go to the turn, looking for that 8. Instead, the 3 is actually going to give him a couple more outs. Now drawing to a 4 to complete a straight as well, and Joe's going to continue to barrel it. And to the river, it's the king. This would be an interesting card if Joe elects to keep barreling at it. He's representing a big hand. And does go for a good size bet. It looks to be just under a pot size bet. was 150. It looked like 200 for a second, but 150 the bet. Definitely feels like a value bet. And now Ryan up against it. Not only did a higher pair show up, but the backdoor diamond draw was completed as well. And he will get him to fold. How about that? The crusher, as foretold by A-Town, takes down a good-sized pot, and we keep chugging right along. And hope everybody is having a fantastic kickoff to their Thursday night. And just remember, the kickoff to your weekend just got so much better with the Texas Card House Houston Friday Mayhem Super. It's a $20 buy-in for a $10,000 guarantee. $3,500 guaranteed to first. That's every Friday at 6 p.m. And $20 buy-in, and of course, unlimited $20 rebuys up until the end of registration. Kick off your weekend in the best way possible. And Mark joining us in the 4 seat. Big Bad John in the 5. It's been a little bit since we've seen him on a 1-3 stream. Does play the 1-2 streams, and whenever Bill hosts a game on the stream, you know he's going to be there as president of the Bill Hewer fan club. And Kings into Aces. It's going to raise it up to 20. It's a hilarious story, depending on what point of view you're going to be taking the story from. But not 30 minutes ago, before the stream table started, on a 1-2 game, Kings into Aces managed to run his Kings into Aces, hence the name, and lost $1,000 in a 1-2 match. Mark gonna bet 10. Kings into Aces is open-ended, however. He's gonna bump it up, makes it 30 to go. Michael gonna stick around. Oh, correction. May have spoke a little too soon. Mark hasn't acted just yet. It will chase Michael away. And Mark with the decision. Does find the fold button. So Kings and the Aces looking to turn it around after his rotten luck at the 1-2 table. But again, make sure you hit that like button for us, and while you're at it, why not subscribe? Don't miss any exciting action from any streaming Texas Card House location across the great Lone Star State. See the Catman in frame there. It's a pleasure. Can't wait to get him back on the stream.
Yeah, over their stream rehearsal. So it's as if we're on stream.
And Kings and the Aces waking up with another great hand here in the cutoff. Ace-Jack, offsuit. We'll make it 12 to go. Michael, suited gapper there. Queen 10 in clubs. And Mark, don't know if he was priced in per se, but he'll stick around with 9 tray offsuit. So three-handed, we go to the flop, and the flop comes 10 high. Rainbow.
He won the World Series of Poker last time.
So top pair is a pair of 10s. Queen 10. Thunder's out in front.
That very expensive Dave & Buster's.
Looks like it does check round, and now the 9 is going to add a gutter ball to the repertoire of Kings and the Aces, but also give Mark second pair.
Are they still in business?
And the dangers of being priced in on full display right there. Because Mark is going to flat this 20. Kings and the Aces will fold the gut shot, and we go to the river, and it's an ace. So Kings and the Aces would have hit that river hard. Does go check, check. 10s will take down 9s. And Michael continuing the hot runoff from the last performance he had here in the studio.
Zero. Reverse. Yeah, what do you mean?
We are live.
Sure I don't stay too long.
We are live.
There's a delay. There's a delay. We're live.
We watched you in the final phase. You did really well.
One of my bigger clients.
Yeah, but that one time when he stood up and yelled at me, that was kind of rude. Remember?
That's true.
And plenty of action going on right now in the main card room alongside 1-3. There's 4 1-2 no limit tables,
10's get counterfeited. Second hand.
as well as a 1-3 no limit alongside our TCH Live Thursday show. So lots of action today on Westheimer. While under the gun, Joe got game, bumping it up, making it 15 to go. And now Mark's going to see what he can do with suited gappers, 8-6 and hearts. Heads up we go. Flop comes 4-4-7, 2 clubs. 5 for a gutter ball for Mark. Ace high still out in front for Joe. See if he continues here. Was the pre-flop aggressor and does bet at it. Another 15. I think Mark can see a turn with a gutter for 15 bucks. Yes, he can. Tray of diamonds not going to help though. Little pump fake check from Mark. And to the river, it's the 10. So ace high is good, provided Mark doesn't try to steal it here from under the nose of Joe, and it looks like he's going to try to do just that. Again, a lot more 10x, even 7x in the defending range of Mark. Looks like a good size here on the river too, 40 bucks. Almost one of those bets that looks like it's begging for the call. And he will make the call. Ace high is good. Wow, what a call from Joe. Well, you heard it in the chat earlier from A-Town. The kid is a crusher, and what a call that was. That's a good bet on that river from Mark. I do think that maybe had it been a little more in the, I don't want to say the 75 to 100 range, but maybe a little higher. It's going to be a lot harder to call. Magnificent call with ace high.
I was like, oh, you put on that.
And with that, we're going to have ourselves a dealer change. We say goodnight to Rex and welcome Corey into the box.
Also, the stream back. It's like I can't get shown up.
And while we got that change, take a quick look at our player stacks and earnings throughout the first 6 hands. Joe got game right now, the top earner.
No, you only have to win your first.
Meanwhile, Ryan on the party so far, again, very early on in the stream. We're going to see these numbers fluctuate quite a bit.
Yeah, you win your first one, you lose the next 7.
Yeah, and then you lose the next 5 stacks.
Yeah.
You lose your stack very easily. Good.
4 and 6. Just keep this in 4 and 6. So keep yours there. 4 is an endgame putt. It's only seats 2, 3, 5.
And you can see there on the left of the screen the Spring Classic in full swing. The main event as well, kicking off last night. And 2 flights a day up until Sunday, noon and 6. Still plenty of time to take your shot at that $400,000 prize pool. Looks like we do have ourselves a double board PLO bomb pot. So we'll get a couple of boards to play with here.
Double board.
Our first board is Queen High, couple of hearts, and now we'll see our second board. Also Queen High, but pairs queens. Queen, Queen, Jack.
Checks. 6 checks. 7 checks.
The case queen in the hand of Joe Got Game.
Or 2 bets 50.
Wow, Big Bad John. Gonna stick around as well, so heads up. To the turns we go, and now John's got himself trip 7s up top.
Check, check.
And number 1 draft pick going at it. Deuce up top, 9 down below. If we take a look there, that means John is going to come away with this. Also has Ace Jack down below. There's the call. No, it's actually going to be chopped up. If I may eat my own words there for a second, it will be chopped up between John and number 1 draft pick. But number 1 draft pick, again, on the live stream for the 150K guarantee here at Houston not too long ago, wound up with a 6th place finish. Was one of 3 players that played in the Turbo Flight that same Sunday morning. 3 players making final table from it. It was a long, hard-fought day, but he wound up making a good profit off of it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So good on you, number 1 draft pick.
No poker in it at all.
Table, but like 3 card and 5 down, but not.
That favors the house.
We got a straddle the same guys? This is straddle. Seats. 7.
So we got ourselves a straddle here. As Kings into Aces wakes up with garbage. We'll fold it right away. Big Bad John with Big Lick wants to see a flop, and Ryan gonna check his option. So big pot, $15 in the middle. Flop comes Ace High, Ace Queen 5. Immediately checks through. That'll bring the 7 into play. Gutter ball now for John to an 8. So Ryan pairs 7s. And the price too steep to continue chasing that gutter ball. And when he came to sit down at the table, he did tell me, this Ace is into Kings, by the way, told me that he was playing on tilt. So the guys better be ready for some angry betting.
I did not. 3 raises to 10.
Of course, alongside all of the normal cash action you see in the main card room behind you, got the weekly 10K guaranteed tournament, the $240 buy-in with unlimited re-entry, and just kicking off. Plenty of time for you to come on in and take your shot at taking down the lion's share of $10,000.
2 big straddle.
matter of fact. Show you a little more on it here. Again, starting at 6 p.m. every Thursday night. It's a 30K starting stack, 20-minute levels, and a 10K guarantee. $240 buy-in, and come take your shot at it. Registration going to be open till about the 10 o'clock hour.
Seat 7.
And again, the game here tonight is using a reverse button. So every time the reverse button and the dealer button meet, that hand is going to be played as pot Limit Omaha.
We should fight for the bottom.
Joe got game.
Little side game.
Got one of each suit. Got a king high doogie. Meanwhile, number 1 draft pick. Kojak suited, couple of 10s. He's got 3 hearts, but kings into aces has aces. Aces 6 tray. We go to the board. Flop comes queen high, 2 clubs.
78 check. 2 check. 1 2. 6 pops.
So we have everything to catch up. Looks like somebody bet the pot. We'll wait to see just who that is. As Joe got game, and Joe will take it down open-ended. And I gotta tell you, A-Town, so far living up to the hype. We see another familiar face making his way into the studio. That is the almighty Squish. Looks like he will occupy the 9 seat this evening.
What'd you say? Okay. Okay. There you go.
Breaking stuff again?
Tired, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
What kind of shit?
Yeah, it's one thing to bring a blanket and a pillow on the set with you, but it's another thing to just flat out tell everybody, you know, I'm just tired. So the
I'm doing great.
wardrobe is fitting for the situation of Squish. And would you look at that? Right on cue, A-Town, giving it to me in the chat. Told you so.
What's up? The stuff that makes me play better.
And a Michael under the gun with the ladies. Queen spades, queen hearts. Looks like they're, no, correction, it's, oh my goodness, that wasn't an error. Both Michael and number 1 draft pick have pocket queens.
I haven't seen you in a minute.
I haven't been over there either, so have you been?
Did you say
Yeah, I was there last night. Slow.
He puts Michael all in.
Right.
Interesting to see what they're going to do here. Long walk for a small drink of water.
Yeah, just chop it up now.
One time, and we see these weird situations in which both players have the same pocket pair, and it comes up flushing out, but this one's going to end up as a chop. And it looks like they did agree to run it twice. Why not? See if we can get something funny to happen. And with that flop, that is going to secure the fact that this will be indeed a long walk for a small drink of water. And don't forget about the Saturday 5K. Every Saturday, 4 p.m. at Texas Card House, Houston. It's a $75 buy-in with a $50 add-on. and a 20K starting stack. That add-on can be used anytime before the end of registration, and it'll get you an additional 40,000 in chips.
I could have finished so much later.
Of course, a lot of people like to debate as to whether it's best to save the add-on for later or just do it right away. If you're looking for my opinion, not that you asked for it, but you just get it done at your best purchasing power right at the beginning of the tournament.
No, actually, yes, it's a seat cushion for me.
No, that's fine.
Because you never know the person previously.
Okay.
It could have been, you know what I mean?
Right.
3 call squeeze, or 4 call squeeze, 5 4, 6 4, 7 4.
We'll do 25.
Aces into kings with a suited ace.
1 and 2, 2 and 3.
Gonna bump it up, makes it 25 to go. Mark with Jack 10. See if he elects to stick around.
20 plus or plus.
4 calls 25.
And he will do so. So heads up we go. Ace 5, Jack 10. And it comes up with a gutter ball for Jack 10. Ace high, still out in front.
8 plus 25.
Bet's going to be 25. We'll see if Mark wants to pay that 25 bucks to draw here. You can see he's got 2 outs, according to the top of your screen there.
Forget about this. This is my third screen. Sunday Super Bowl was my first one.
And it looks like all the queens folded pre-flop. At least that's what the graphic is suggesting.
You know, I'm third, my first time Thursday.
4 4.
And he will make the good laydown.
Do any like prop bets, like 7 deuce or anything?
I'll do it, yeah. Set news.
'Cause I picked it up. I picked it up and I was like,
Nick game.
Y'all want to play the Nick game? That's fine.
okay, yeah, we can do that.
Do we have runs for Nick game? Or no?
We can use our cards.
Tim, can we make that work?
I never done
Can we
that.
make a Nick game work or no?
What is that?
Yeah.
What is
I
that?
mean, we don't have to do it right now. We can do it like in like
So the next
20
game is
minutes.
basically
Go.
the last person in orbit to win.
Okay.
They have to pay a certain
Of
number.
course, you can hear him talking about possibly starting up the Nick game in the not-too-distant future.
And you just don't want to be the last person.
So we'll look forward to that.
You guys agree on that?
Set it to where-
Also,
I mean, like,
heard a rumor about the 7-deuce game.
Bucks Nick game is 10 bucks 7 deuce.
I think, yeah. Yeah.
For both?
Big blind stuff?
Yeah.
If the table agrees,
When do you want to start the Nick game?
Yeah, the
We have to decide that.
best way to win the 7-deuce game is play it like aces.
So it's just 7 deuces live. Everyone good with that?
that's cool.
7 deuce is live.
Yeah, $10.
If you win, you
4,
don't have to go to showdown, right?
Someone wins.
You can bluff with the 70.
Yeah, you can play. As long as you take down the pocket.
Raise,
Yeah,
You have to show your hand though. If you win, you can't buck your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do that.
You know, so it looks like the 7-deuce game is live. So whoever can take down a pot with 7-deuce is going to get $10 from the rest of the players.
heads up,
I love seeing games like that played on the show. We go to the flop. It's a 7-deuce flop. That's pretty good. But it is top pair with second kicker for Mark.
He knew it. I binked it to him.
Big Bad John with 2 overs to the board. It's checked over to him. See if John will continue. He was the pre-flop aggressor. Of course, not every flop needs a continuation bet, and nobody knows this better than Big Bad John. And action was still on Mark, it seems, but John is going to flat here with his 2 overs to the board.
Danny,
On the turn, he'll bring the 8 of diamonds out to play.
deuce game is on. If you win with 7 deuce, we're each going to pay you 10 bucks. And if you
And another bet from Mark will chase John out.
in the future, sir, I'll just let you know the action sheet. Sometimes I just like to let the players decide if they're thinking, but in the future, no, I was saying in the future. if
And it
they're
looks
winning,
like the
I'll know the action sheet.
last seat is going to be filled. So we've got our full ring now as we continue our show.
Would you say what name does he want?
What do you think about?
Well, the Thursday stream used to be 5, 10, 20.
What name would you like, sir?
What
name would you like for the live stream, sir?
Win the hand with 7 deuce, you have to show it.
And again, Fridays. How about a seniors tournament? That is right, a $3,000 guaranteed seniors tournament. And open to any 50 years or older. $130 buy-in, 20-minute levels, $30K starting stack.
400.
And don't forget, if you're playing in these senior tournaments, keep an eye on that Seniors Point Championship leaderboard, as the winner is going to get a 2024 WSOP Seniors seat, which is a value of $1,500, as well as money for travel and a day-to-day expense stipend. So Dango's gonna take over in the 1 seat. He's in the hijack and has Queen Deuce offsuit.
7, 8, 9 fold.
On you.
Yeah. I just gotta use a card.
Amen.
Because his QR's not working.
He gets all situated.
1 and 2 fold.
Michael with ace queen is gonna bump things up, makes it 15 to go. Big Bad John gonna stick around with king 10. And to the flop we go. It's an ace high flop. Couple of diamonds to boot. No player with one. But Michael will bet. John will fold.
Thank you, sir.
Are you conceived?
So you could buy in for 280?
Yeah, I think it's uncapped.
Oh, wow.
Which one?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Table.
And again, for those keeping up with what's going on with the tournament series, you may have realized that there is a truly Texan-inspired event this year in the World Series of Poker. And that is, of course, the round of each bomb pot tournament. The round of each of both Hold'em and Pot Limit Omaha bomb pots.
Shadow in C7.
You gotta love it when they take a format like that and turn it into a bracelet event. It's definitely gonna be a lot of fun to see how that turns out. Kings into aces with ace 5 and hearts this time.
8 raises to 30, 9 folds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 folds.
We'll bump it up, make it 30 to go.
that would have been sweet.
I would have felt like the bad guy. Yeah, you can't let the buttons do that.
This hand will be a PLO hand, guys.
The only blinds are defending. Come on, step up to the plate. Yeah. Don't let him do it.
There's no PLO 7 deuce.
There's a button.
7 deuce.
And you can hear there the PLO button and the dealer button have met. That means this hand will be playing out as Pot Limit Omaha.
I've seen it when it's like either trips in your hand or flush in your hand. Quads is too rare.
Maybe trip.
No, yeah, trips
Trips is harder, I think.
This must have been
Trips and
dated.
flush are the two that I've seen is probably.
You gotta keep your cards. No, we're doing PLO. 6 and 7, just keep your cards there for
Kings into aces with 9, 8, 8, 4, a couple of clubs. You see, PLO is a strangely enticing game when you have a hand like this, because you definitely want to see a flop holding a pocket pair like that. But you have to recognize that this is such a draw-heavy game. Let's say you flop a set and can't improve to a boat. Odds are you're still well behind. Back around to John. John straddling from the button. And we're bringing everyone along. It's the Texas Heads Up. Well, with this many hands, seeing the flop in PLO,
8 players.
we're going to see some blood.
Oh my.
And yep, that's how you do it. A 3-king flop. We take a look here in the immediate graphic. Nobody has the king.
3, 4, 5, all shut. Second turn.
That being said, anybody who has a pocket pair has a boat right now.
6 chips. 7 bets 30.
Or Joe got game and Ryan, we both have to speculate on one of their cards. Could very well be the king, but Ryan's going to bet at it.
4 folds, 5 folds.
And Joe got game, can't handle the heat. So kings full of 10s will take it down for Ryan. And you want to talk about sinister PLO flops. It doesn't get too much more sinister than that. And lots of action tonight at Texas Card House Houston. Want to be a part of it? I got a way for you right here. Go ahead, scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and get on the waiting list. Plenty of 1-2 action, 1-3. You want to sign up for future live streams? That's how you do it as well. Go ahead, scan that QR code. Looking forward to seeing you here on Westheimer.
8 folds. Thank you, sir. 9, 1, and 2 fold.
Back around to Michael with ace-9 off suit in the low jack. He's going to bump it up, make it 20 to go. Joe got game with king-queen not going anywhere. King-10 from Ryan as well, and we're going 3 ways to this flop. And king-10 winds up with top pair. Get back to it there. Backdoor hearts for both Ryan and Michael as well. Michael going to continue with it. 25 to bet. And Ryan looks like he's just going to flat here. Oh, correction, did raise it. Makes it 60 to go. A little check raise. And Michael will stick around to see the turn.
Heads up, fellas.
So we go to the turn, heads up. And now both players with flush draws. The first nut flush, pardon, the nut flush and the second nut flush draw.
7 bets 80.
See Michael drawing to 7 outs. And at this point, Michael really can't afford to go anywhere. The bet comes in at 80 from Ryan.
Three goes over.
And all in the bet from Michael. Absolutely gross is the thought in Ryan's head right now. He does block the flush. But Michael drawing to 7 outs at 26%.
I don't know if I can tell you how much more, but I can tell you the total amount if that'll help. So it looks like it's 228.
Again, you want to think that this is a very simple call for Ryan with top pair and a great kicker, but
3 calls.
does make the call, and now we go to the river. It's a queen. So Ryan holds with the 10, dodging the nut flush. Boy, what a move from Michael.
Barrels on 28.
Does not work this time for him. We continue right along here.
Follow the entertainment for our YouTube subscribers.
So thank you, sir. Seat number 9.
Nice call.
400.
No, nice bet.
Seat number 3
That was a good bet.
Good play, both y'all. I would have
That was a good bet.
I said that because it was the last
Good bet, good call.
action. That's why I said, of course he bet.
Yeah, it was a good bet.
I mean, I agree with the table talk there. It was a great bet and a great call.
Glad the hard comes.
Big one, and we have straddle. Just a regular straddle in C2.
No, my defense.
We're good to go, guys.
Mark this time, waking up with Route 66.
No, they're not great. It was
It's a straddle. 4 call 6.
Facing a $6 straddle, Joe got game with ace jack.
7 folds, 8 calls 30. 9 folds.
Gonna make it 30 to go. Kings into aces with some suited connectors. King, queen of diamonds. So we get back around to Mark. It's gonna cost them $24 to speculate here.
4 calls 30.
And we'll do so as we go 4 ways to the flop. 127 in the middle. Queen, deuce, 5.
4 checks.
So top pair for kings into aces.
6 plus 50.
But Joe got game, gonna lead into it. It's gonna make it 50 to go. Just flatting, it appears. No, as we backtrack there, the action. Kings and the aces gonna make it 150 to go. And Mark cannot continue. Joe got game, however. Backdoor hearts to his name. He's also got backdoor wheel outs as well as backdoor Broadway outs. He is gonna go ahead and fold it though. And a good fold at that. And a lot of players will look at a hand like that and say, I've got way too many outs to not see a turn. But of course, when you see that turn and you improve, that's only going to make folding the river to a huge bet that much harder. So some good discipline from Joe.
Oh, yikes. Makers of Goat. Actually, it's Makers of Splash of Goat.
Makers,
The color.
Forget the code.
Heavy duty.
not cheating you.
And I appreciate that.
Here we go, guys.
Big Bad John, a suited
5
ace.
raises to 15. 6, 7, 8 folds, 9 folds. 1 folds. 2 calls. We're heads up to a flop, right? So
And a suited gapper for #1 draft pick. He'll go heads up with John. Flop comes Queen at 10-5. Immediately checks through. Now John picking up the nut flush draw on the turn. Meanwhile, open ender for #1 draft pick. To the river we go, and the board pairs. So ace high is good. We'll see if draft pick elects to try and stab at it. And we'll see if John can find the metal to make an ace high call. No, he cannot. So draft pick takes it down. Beautifully done. So we continue right along. Yeah, we're going to tell you until we're blue in the face, but course, the Poker Atlas Tour makes another stop here at TCH Houston, beginning on April 10th. The 10th through the 22nd, 16 trophy events and over $1 million in guarantees. You're looking for the tournament epicenter. You found it right here at TCH Houston.
King's full, no one else has even like gotten close.
King's full is
He just has to
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah, but I've lost a lot of money.
C2 folded. C2
Like I've
folded,
lost
4 folded.
7 or 8 times.
5 folded. 6 raises, 25.
Joe got game. Again, we can count on 2 hands now how many times Joe's had this same hand, ace jack off suit. Then goes with 7-8 offsuit. Again, my personal favorite garbage hand.
1 call, we'll hit that to the flop.
Yeah, I really like when
See, flop comes. King high, rainbow.
1 destiny.
Continuation bet here from Joe, and Dan goes with a hand that needs to go perfect to catch anything. Is going to fold his option. Yeah, I don't really consider it to be a garbage hand if I am going to amend my statement. I like the good low mid board coverage, for lack of a better term there. It's sort of the same reason 9-10 offsuit's a good one to defend with. That middle board coverage, especially when the pre-flop aggressor is playing more of a GTO range.
I haven't been there. My brother was the one from the meter would go there most of the time. But yeah, I think that maybe King people over. Yeah, he really enjoyed it.
yeah, I like the flip to that.
3 folds. Button straddle, so actually
68.
So 6 total. 4 call 6. 6 raises to 30. 7 folds, 8 folds.
So number 1 draft pick straddling from the button. Joe got game with ace-8 suited, going to bump things up, and in doing so is going to take it down even after a call from the small blind with the straddle. Yeah, a lot of respect there. And to those tuning in that don't know, the 7-deuce game is live. There has been talks of the Nick game as the broadcast continues. So we'll see if we can validate those rumors as the show goes on.
I don't ever say in here. I don't know.
Small blind 6. There's a button straddle.
And another button straddle.
We got that guy that we made.
Oh yeah.
And what a hand to wake up with facing the straddle. That's going to be Mark, who's going to wake up to the red Cowboys.
4 call 6.
And he's just going to flat with him here. Very sneaky. I like where this is going. John's going to raise it. Joe's got game with ace-10 suited. Boy, Mark couldn't ask for a better spot to be in. There's 3 of the aces right there. So after this limp raise we're going to see from Mark, that's going to mean there's only 1 ace left. Mark's all in. John makes the call. We'll see now if Joe can. He cannot. So John drawing to 1 ace.
Going 1 time.
And they're going to rip it, run it 1 time for Max Payne. And boy, ace-10. Really feeling that fold now. There's the case king. So king's full will take it down. Beautifully played by Mark with that limp from the small blind.
Yeah, John, I folded when you were
126 total. So
Well, yeah, ace-10 definitely wishing they had made the call on the flop. Of course, the turn Gonna devastate all hopes and dreams of Ace 10.
I don't know, I was thinking 7 deuce, third over it, and you didn't.
75, 100. All your serve.
Anytime it's a trick.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. This hand will be Omaha, guys.
And you can hear Corey there that this hand is going to be played as Pot Limit Omaha. And these PLO hands, very entertaining. I love playing Pot Limit Omaha with Hold'em players. You know, lots of debate over what is the best starting hand in Pot Limit Omaha. There's some people that argue aces and kings double suited. That is a great starting hand. Of course, I'm more from the school of aces, jack 10 double suited. It is a very draw-heavy game. I do prefer to have the best drawing hand in poker alongside my aces.
Everyone's good.
Here, however, Jack 7-6. Interesting hand. I do like it. Be better if we had a jack of clubs, maybe. But it does have some good low board coverage as well as a big pair.
7 raises to 15, 8 calls, 9 folds, 1 folds, 2 folds, 3 calls.
Now here's an interesting one here.
4 folds, 5.
Ace 10, 9, 8, double suited.
4 ways to the flop.
Oh, we saw the last 2 jacks in the hands of Squish, so we know that the jack isn't coming for Ryan.
Good to go.
The flop comes King, Deuce, 5, 2 diamonds. We know the nut diamond draw is in the hands of kings into aces.
5, 6, check, 7 checks, 8 checks. Oh, the pot is 65, so.
Action back around to kings into aces. Gonna bet the pot, it appears.
3 folds, 5 folds.
And you'll see if Ryan will stick around. He does.
That's up to the turn, guys.
We go to the turn. There's the Queen of Hearts. So as of right now, the jacks are out in front. See if kings into aces continues to barrel here. He does. Another pot size bet. And he will take it down. Looks like I got some agreement from A-Town. Always good to be validated. Appreciate it.
That was good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And would you look at that? It's also time for a dealer change, which means that right after our PLO hand, we're going to have ourselves a double board PLO bomb pot. We will say good night to Corey and welcome Miss Helen into the box.
Are you good with the Apple's bomb pot? We do like the endgame? Yeah.
Thank you, man.
We'll use our cards for the endgame? Is it okay if we use our cards for the endgame?
And it sounds like after the bomb pot is over, we're going to have ourselves the Nick game.
It's not an orbit. It's just, it goes on.
Okay, that makes it,
So for those unfamiliar with the Nick game, I will explain the rules to you right after our double board bomb pot is long gone.
Are they calling?
Well, while Miss Helen gets ready, just a reminder that your weekend gets off to the best start with the Friday Mayhem Super, a $10,000 guaranteed tournament for the low buy-in of $20, featuring unlimited $20 rebuys. $3,500 guaranteed to first, and that's happening every Friday at 6 p.m. from Texas Card House, Houston.
So it'd be a $90 penalty.
So everybody's involved here. They all ante up, and away we go. First board comes Jack High Rainbow. Second board comes Jack High Rainbow. Look at that. Bottom board, a little more connected to the Jack. Jack 10-4, Jack 4 Deuce up top. And holding on to one of the Jacks is Joe Got Game. He'll check it, but look at this. Set of 10s for Ryan on the bottom board, as well as a Jack on the top. The bomb pots are another one of those tricky games where you got to make sure you've got equity on both boards. Like Dango's here is open-ended. Does have a pair of 8s on the top, however, so if that bottom board doesn't work out for him, he's got really not much of a parachute on the top. The top board receives the King of Clubs, Tray of Clubs down below. So flush draw on both boards for Joe Got Game. Boy, talk about a sick way to win the pot. But Dango's here, still open-ended. And I will answer your question in just a second, my friend, as soon as the action here is over. But Dango's here facing a $100 bet. And open-ended, yes, but you've also got to take into account the flush draw making an appearance. Dangos will make the fold. Big Bad John as well. Joe Got Game. And really can't afford not to stick around at this point. He's open-ended as well for Broadway and has the club draw. And Joe's going to go ahead and pot it. I like this move here. So action back to Ryan now, an additional $425 if he wants to see these rivers.
I'm not good at poker, but I have no idea what's going on with this.
And we look at the top board. He's got 2 pair. So he does have a small parachute for that top board. That is the case deuce. Oh, pardon, the 3 deuces. They're lower left. I apologize.
Just one to each player.
One to each player.
Of course, a club on either of the boards will wipe him out.
Show your hand to get rid of your button. If you don't show your hand, you can't get rid of your button.
You get rid of it, and you can't go to showdown.
So you can go to showdown.
This one you can.
As long as you have
All in goes Ryan. Snap called from Joe, and off we go to the rivers.
What, $1? The person with this class.
Top one, a 10, and the board pairs on the bottom, so he ends up with a set on the top and a boat on the bottom. What a move from Ryan. Getting max value out of it.
wow, you won out in.
Absolutely sickening.
Did he?
Ryan.
Oh, I guess yeah.
And now to answer the question, looks like Rena already answered it, but I'm going to go ahead and answer it on air for him.
It's impossible.
The question is, at TCH in a cash game, can you run it more than once? Absolutely. But the decision to do so has to be mutual between you and the one that you are going to be running it with. And has to be made before the next card hits the board.
You had more scoop outs than he did. I didn't see you had clubs and open-ended.
I know. Yeah, open-ended clubs on both boards. 2 pair on the top.
Ryan did have to fade the world for everything to hold up there.
It'll show you on there. I can tell you, I mean, he had like 6%. I mean,
Yeah, 1 out times
he had,
4.
that's,
Well, he had
six,
one
that's
more.
6 outs. That's 6 outs. That's 9. I mean, you,
1 out.
Joe, you had 4. No, it's Jack was down for you. You had 15 on the bottom. He had 3 on the top.
There's only one jack right there.
1
He
10. 1
did
10. He
hit
needed 1
two
10.
jacks and 2s before, so it would have given him 2s, 4 jacks.
He needed a 10.
700?
A 10 or a 2.
6 is adding 700?
So 4. Yeah.
So before we put this on, I have a drop dead.
And with that hand, that does conclude our first hour of coverage for tonight's action. Has been exhilarating so far.
I don't expect it to be an issue.
Forward to seeing just how much crazier this can get. Again, Wes Tucker keeping you company from TCH Houston.
You deserve to be in the table.
I probably will have lost a lot of hands.
Alright, we're good. Ready to call.
If you haven't already hit that like button, now's the time to do it. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, subscribe as well. Don't miss any action from any streaming Texas Card House location across the Great Lone Star State.
4 call, 5 full, 6 full. 5 call. 7 call.
Tyranny of the bomb.
1 call. 4 players.
Never been on the good side of balance, but that was.
So 4 ways we go to the flop. As the flop comes, queen, high, 2 diamonds.
Even though I had the
For Michael with ace, queen. Mark ends up pairing 10s. Queen, jack for Ryan as well.
3 bet 35.
Still like guaranteed to win.
So plenty of action on the horizon.
4 call.
You had so many scoop outs on the bottom.
JSC, what's going on with you, my friend? Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday.
1 fold. 3 players.
Dangos will fold, so all that's left are the hands that have a piece of the board, and now the 8
Check.
will bring the gutter ball into play.
2 check.
A 9 would be a truly sickening card. And Michael right now, the 80% favorite.
How long did this stream last? 4 hours.
Start at 6.
4 bet 50. 7 call.
So if we leave, we pay $10, right? As a
And 50 is the bet. Now we'll see if Michael wants to stop playing with his food, or if he's just going to flat here and let him get to the river.
Even though it's still going? Or is that forfeit once the first person leaves?
Once the first person leaves.
If you leave with your buttons still, you pay $10 to each person.
Yeah,
But the
That's
game,
okay.
yeah, they go for it.
Well, okay, yeah, we should have just leave.
And there it is. Michael's going to jam all in.
2 check.
Probably should have just not gotten the button first.
That's all right.
So as long as we win a hand, then we can leave when we want.
Yes.
With no payment.
Yes.
Thank you. This is my first time playing that game.
Yeah.
I love them, man. I love the 72 and I'm not doing so much fun.
That's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And now Mark with jack 10.
All in.
He's going to end up moving all in as well. And now he and Michael will go to war. And Mark drawing the 6 outs. He's looking for a jack 10 or a 9. To the river, it's an ace. Michael's going to double up. So a good shove on that turn does end up chasing away the other pair of queens that could have damaged him. But of course, the way it runs out, you're going to want that call from the other queen. But nonetheless, Michael went felt earlier in the broadcast. Good to see him trending back in the right direction. And for those who are tuning in, they are playing the Nick game now. How the Nick game works is simple. Each player will receive what is called a knit button. And the only way to relinquish the knit button is to A, win the hand, and B, show the hand. The last player holding on to their knit button will pay the knit tax to the rest of the table. And the agreed upon tax is $10.
15. 2 call. 3 fold. 4 call. 5 fold. 6 call. 7 call.
And Ryan, 5-4 offsuit, making a little bit of a loose call, but again, with this much action, you really can't afford not to be in this pot. But Mark leading the way with the Cowboys. And oh, boy, you speak of the devil and look what comes into existence. He flops quad fours.
Back 25. 2 fold.
Good night. Well, just when I say you can't afford not to be in the hand, he does check it too. Masterful play from Ryan. We'll see just what the raise is, but fours full of kings for Mark. And Mark with just $18 behind, or $13 behind. He's all in. Ryan just going to make the call. This is great. Let's see what we can milk out of this. Like, how sick would a 9 be on this turn to give Dangos a vote as well?
24 in the game, and then the rest on the side. 34.
So we do have a side pot brewing between Ryan and Dangos. To the turn, it's an ace. That's going to slow everybody down. And Ryan's going to check, just hoping to get more money put into the middle. Instead, we will see a flush run out. But again, nobody holding on to enough diamonds to bring it into fruition. And now Ryan, if I'm going to get any value, I'm going to have to be the one to lead. Dangos will fold, and there's quads. So a good pot being pushed away of Ryan. Again, got super lucky on the bomb pot when Helen pushed into the box. And again here, flopping quads. So again, not as devastating as the hand could have been had a 9 or an 8 appeared on that Turner River. And it looks like Mark going to go ahead and fire another bullet here. And you can see the red buttons in front of everybody. Those are the knit buttons. We'll do our best to keep track of them for you, but if you see a red button in front of the player, it means that they have yet to win a hand and or have refused to show the winning hand. We have seen players win the hand but elect not to show. And when you compound this with the 7 deuce game, it just makes the action that much more intense. So the dust settles here. We go heads up, a couple of king high holdings, and a couple more 4s on the flop. And Michael going to lead out and drawing at 95%. 75%. There we go. Gonna say that seemed a little high for King 10. But Ryan gonna raise this. It's gonna cost Michael another $45 just to see the turn. And he will make that call, so we go to the turn. There's the ace, and that's gonna slow everybody down again. Ryan is drawing to 14 outs. And lots of chop outs available as well. Ryan will continue to bet at it, representing that ace. This is going to be a difficult call for Michael. And he does make the call. Looks like Michael's got him right on a hand such as that. So King 10 is good. See if Michael goes for some value here. Well, not often you can say I'm going to value bet King High, but opportunity here. I can see this definitely going check, check, but Michael's reaching for some betting chips. And it's a good size bet, 150. So poker in its purest form right there. And now he's going to show the King 10. And he will relinquish his knit button.
You have to show to get that.
Yeah, he already got rid of his button, so he doesn't have to show.
You don't have to show it, right?
You already got rid of it.
Yeah, if you
You
don't.
already want a hand.
Yeah, if you don't show, you can't get rid of your button. But he doesn't have this anymore, so he just.
We want it all in.
Damn, I should.
And that is correct. If you do not hold the button, you don't have to show if you win a second hand.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I wish I paid attention.
Alright, small blind, big blind.
Just want to defend. Yes, this is that game in general.
That's an interesting dynamic.
Why does it influence me to call flop?
3, 4. 3. 4.
Pop me out.
And it looks like that's going to be the end of the evening for Big Bad John.
You guys too.
Like he's packing up.
Nice to meet TV stars like y'all.
Like you.
So the president of the Bill Hewer fan club will disappear into the fluorescent luminescence of the main card room. Get back to the action here. Mark with a suited ace. Ace-6 elects not to see a flop with it. When we get back around here, 9-8 offsuit. And another one of those hands with good middle board coverage. Speaking of which, Ryan with Jack-9. And 4 players are going to see this flop. Pardon, 3 players. As everything is corrected. And the flop, wow, Jack-9 flopping open-ended. Gutter ball to a jack for Joe Got Game. Meanwhile, top pair for #1 draft pick. Both Ryan and Joe Got Game with diamonds for a potential backdoor flush. And #1 draft pick is actually blocking the straight as well. Joe is going to raise it, make it 125 to go on his gut shot. And the open ender of Ryan, again, has been running good so far on our show this evening. We'll make the call now, chase away #1 draft picks. They scare top pair away. And look at that. Not only does the open ender hit with a king high straight for Ryan, it also gives him the redraw to a higher flush than Joe. And Joe drawing to a mere 2%. The only hope he has is to hit a jack to chop this with the same straight. But here he goes. He's going to bet at it. Lighting money on fire. A 2%er to the river and does not connect. So anything Joe bets here, again, just lighting on fire as Ryan continues to run hot. And 742 in the middle. Just under a 2-to-1 SPR for Ryan. And look at this, a big bet on the river from Joe. Again, I can't really see this getting raised with the flush draw completed on the turn. But definitely with the nut straight, Ryan is going to be able to call this. If he does find the raise, good on him. But Joe with just $539 behind. Oh my goodness, he found the fold. Wow.
Mother trucker.
Wow, wow, wow. Boy, what a fold. But wow. What a move, I guess, on the river.
This is why we play poker.
I love the tank on your bluffing on the other guy. I love it.
Let's gangster ourselves.
And it looks like we do have the open seat being filled, but wow.
But you bet.
Yeah, when you're running as hot as you are, holding on to the nut, second nut straight. I don't know how
So your story was legit the whole
you make that fold there. Again, it's wow. That's just, again, we've seen some fantastic poker tonight. A great move from the gentleman in the 6th seat.
I was ready to snap a jam, but that looked so. I would never jam that without.
Yeah, you're not.
Number way too deep.
600 is a pot, right? Pot 600, right?
It was close to that. I honestly didn't remember what the pot was. I was like, pot was about 700. The pot was like 8.
No, he had nothing. He had
9 high.
9 high.
350 when they're on turn, like 300 when on the clock. Like I said, it was either gonna look really good or really bad. Like it was the last.
3 fold. 6.
The best part about that is it's gonna end up making you more money out of me in the future.
5 raise.
Could use some of that.
And Dango's playing some musical chairs here as he'll now sit in the 5 seat. Got a new face in the 1 seat. We'll get a name to go with that face in just a moment. And it's Ron. Ron is back.
I have no idea what that is.
Number 1 draft pick with pocket 7s. He's got a flat 16 here, and we'll go 4 ways to a flop.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was trying to get something out of you.
10 high board, rainbow board at that. So ace 10 is way out in front.
Now, if I had a flush,
Gutter ball and backdoor clubs for Mark. And what number 1 draft pick can easily infer is second pair.
that's one of the toughest spots I've been in.
I don't think he would nut it either.
From his perspective, that is. See what Mark likes to do.
Baby flush.
Does have a combo draw,
That's exactly what it is.
and part of it does involve backdoor clubs as we go 3 ways to the turn. Ace 10 out in front.
Doesn't really mean, right?
And now with 2 pair, it's cut Mark down to just a gutter ball draw. Meanwhile, number 1 draft pick is going to be looking for a 7 and a 7 only.
So with a king high, king, queen,
Will chase him away. But we'll see if Mark has the mettle to stick around. See if he can find a way to catch a tray on this turn. He's got 2 outs. Drawing at 10%.
Have y'all seen the course that they teach at MIT on poker?
And Will make the lay down.
It's just like, it's so introductory.
They have it on YouTube. It's like,
It is really interesting.
they like calculate. I'll give it that. It's more about game theory than it is about poker. They use poker as a game theory.
Friendly reminder that the Spring Classic main event is in full swing at Texas Card House Spring. A $400,000 guaranteed main event for the price point. It's a $600 buy-in. And we got 2 flights a day running until Sunday. We'll have the morning turbo flight and then go directly into day 2. So lots of exciting tournament action coming your way from Spring as we continue our high octane cash action here on TCH Live Thursday.
Joe, I'm so kind of pissed you went to go muck your hand after bluffing for like.
Jack, Jack, 9-8, a rainbow holding.
Yeah, dude, I almost forgot.
Now here we go. This is an interesting hand. Dango's with aces, king, queen double suited.
PLO counts for the net game, right?
Gonna bump it up, make it 30 to go.
7 call. 8 fold. 9 fold.
You never know until you get to the flop.
Queen 10, deuce tray, double suited as well.
Bluff every time, Ethan.
Good low board coverage as well as club coverage for Ron. So when all the dust settles, we got 5 players going to the flop.
Smaller. I don't know. I had Queen Jack. King came on the turn for this.
Flop comes deuce tray 4. So flopping 2 pair with deuce tray is Ron.
Check.
Think I was bluffing, but
Open-ended is Michael,
I remember you showed Queen.
but Dango's with the nut flush draw with hearts.
No, river was. Yeah.
And Michael open-ended with his 5 tray holding. And he picks up a 6, would also give him a 7 high straight.
Oh wait, no, we didn't see the. No, yeah, we did. I think it flopped Jack high. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh man, on the commentary, people are going crazy right now. Best in the commentary.
We have commentating now?
Yeah, they're commentating this one.
3
Oh,
fold.
that's horrible. God. I just walked in here one.
Back round to Dango's.
5 all
We'll
in.
see the PLO now.
Dango's gonna move all in.
Yeah, when I think.
Oh, he's got it.
It's gonna know me as the scoop alert. No, if I call that, I'll get thrashed. Now they know I'm on stream.
Oh, hold on, he didn't call you.
I take money on Friday any day. So, absolutely.
He does find the fold here. So it's gonna be Ron and Dango's going at it here.
We're going 1 time.
They're gonna run it 1 time. Max Payne, there's the flush. Dango's is gonna take it down.
That's a.
And needing the board to pair on the river, instead it does not. And the flush is good.
And notice there was no crazy pre-flop action.
I gotta say, Edwin, I thought we were looking at a 3-way all-in as well,
Ethan.
but ended up being a fantastic fold from Ryan.
No, you can pre-flop. You did?
Yeah.
Well then, if you have to
Perfectly acceptable.
disregard that.
It's like, if you're saying there's one hand, you can do it with absolutely that. Would have preferred clubs, but 6 off.
The last force here.
Straddle.
That is a
Yeah, I was scared for you.
big yes as well as PLO. 100% yes.
I had like a 5-7. Is he in for the naked?
And very professional staff and making sure that the integrity of the game is held.
That's unfair to him.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
Definitely the best place to play, safest place to play too.
Unless he wants to agree.
So 25. He won that, just won it. 4 fold.
Yeah, Michael, ace-9 of diamonds.
I don't know how that shit works. That's why
We're
I
also
didn't-
playing 7 deuce for $10.
6 fold.
If he wants to.
It's not really if you. It's hard. It's not really if you want. It's kind of has to be taken very quickly.
You can take it off if you want to.
25.
So 7-6 offsuit, ace-9 of diamonds.
Everyone has to agree,
Yeah.
but he wasn't here, that's what I'm saying. If
I
he
know.
wants
He just opted in.
And ace-9 ends up with top pair.
You pass the DocuSign over.
to continue on this something.
3 for 20.
Michael not going to let top pair go unheard from, but he's not going to be able to get a call on a board of that texture.
But you have to show your cards. The point is to try and get
Oh, I had in my head that I was whoever's the last one has to pay the bounty, so there's a call of the 400. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got it. Is it where? You got it.
I'm not saying 1, 2, 3, ready to go.
4 of us, us 2 and y'all 2. It's not happening.
You guys can make a deal like
0%
not winning
chance.
It just felt really strong to do that after I cold call. So
What's the payout?
I thought you played it great.
You might have
$80
just
per
like
person.
Either that or I'm just really bad at this game. Probably a mixture of both.
I think he was fighting in a weak flesh.
Aces into kings. Suited king holding under the gun.
I mean, I thought it was straight off the flop. When it went raise,
Gonna make it 15 to go. Number 1 draft pick with some diamonds of his own. Higher suit, of course. Dan goes on the button, queen 8 of hearts, and look at this, a chance at it as Joe's got 7 deuce. And if he takes down a pot while holding 7 deuce, he will get paid $10 from every player at the table. Again, the way to win this game is to play 7 deuce like you've got pocket aces. Or in this case, play it like pocket jacks with that bet sizing. Folds it up, and there's 7 deuce for the win.
what the hell?
Absolutely beautiful.
I wanted you to take it from me personally, so I knew you knew.
No, I felt it.
What a sick spot to get to.
We still got a button.
It is very true. There's 6 locations across the Great Lone Star State. Dallas, Las Colinas,
after you
Spring,
had the hand.
Houston,
If you'd
Rio Grande Valley, and of course, Austin.
Hey man, you want that something? Yeah.
I was really bad to ship on you.
Dude, I was gonna do the same thing if he hadn't done it.
I kind of thought you were full of shit.
I literally was gonna do the same thing.
If I had like $500, I'm just kidding. What'd you have?
King eight of
One
nine,
fold, 2 fold,
but I
3
couldn't.
raised to 10,
I was gonna do it.
4 call.
I appreciate the assistance in chat, Rena, but it looks like we left out Spring in the list there.
6 pairs.
As we got the Texas heads up 6 ways to the flop. And the tray, if I'm not mistaken, is going to give bottom set.
Check. 4 check.
Trying to remember who it was. The graphic hasn't shown up just yet.
6 pair,
There it is. Michael with bottom set. Top pair for kings into aces. As well as Joe Got Game. Joe Got Game's actually got top 2 pair. This is going to get dirty.
3 raised to 125. 4 fold.
Raise comes in from Michael with bottom set. It's going to make it $125 to go. And top 2, let's see what Joe goes for. The sickening part, if the jack or 6 pairs, Michael's going to think his tray's full is good. And he's going to raise it,
7 fold.
making it $350 to go. Aces into kings is going to fold his top pair.
With the 1 ounce.
3 fold.
Did you see me?
And now Michael with bottom set.
With the 1
Got $723 behind. Does he rip it now or just flat to the turn?
You weren't bitching when you said it. It was comical when you said it. There's a difference. That was like a punch.
Everything I say is funny, even when I'm serious.
There it is. He's all in. And we know here's the snap call coming from Joe Got Game.
People do.
Michael's going to see it. Not only Joe Got Game, Joe got out. But only 2 of them. And we know that we saw some jacks folded already. So got to be a 6 as we go to the turn.
They're doing twice.
They're going to run it twice. Oh, I thought that was a 6 for a second. Instead, Trey's hole on the top board. To the bottom we go. 9 and 8. So the Treys hold twice. Michael takes it down with bottom set.
Cooler, cooler. I like it, cooler.
826.
Easy game.
So again, after going felt in the first half hour of our show, he winds up with a stack that's cresting $1,800.
Cooler, cooler.
I mean, it's either threes or a flush draw. Yeah. Unless it's like one
On that kind of board?
only one combo left.
When there's already open games. Like 6 to 3 then it's not 60. Or sorry, 10.
Yeah, do it.
6s or
Sixes, threes, or. That'll make me fold. That's just sick.
I mean, that was a nice hand right there.
Even in every fun hand, Joe.
I'm gonna have 8 call it.
800.
Well, lots of great action tonight from the 1-3 live table. Of course, we do have a 1-3 table in the main card room, as well as multiple 1-2 tables. Plenty of action for everybody at TCH Houston.
700. He's adding 766. 3 fold, 4 fold.
Do ball pots count for Nick?
And now Dango's with pocket jacks.
What happens with like a chop pot?
He's just going to flat with them too from the hijack. Very interesting. Ryan with suited connectors. So 3 ways we go to the flop. And oof. Couple of 10s and an ace. 2 clubs.
I did not think you would jack.
So flush draw for Ryan. Dango's with jacks. 7s for kings into aces. It checks around to the turn. Deuce of diamonds will change absolutely nothing. And Dango's definitely not wanting to see anybody bet this. And there it is. Dango's will find the fold with jacks, and now $40 to make the call for Ryan, who's chasing another club. He will make the call. So the river we go, 9 outs, and it's the king. So kings into aces will take this down with a pocket pair of 7s. The bet comes in big. And now, kings into aces will be able to relinquish his nit button. Again, it's a tough spot for Dango's with jacks there. And with that, we've got ourselves a dealer change. And with the dealer change comes another double board PLO bomb pot. So we say good night to Miss Helen and welcome in to Mike.
Does this count or does this not count? No, it's a split pot game. So yeah, split pot you wouldn't know. What's going on, Mike? Oh, the only way you can do it is if like it only counted on a sweep. It's just
Bomb pot now. Sheet 4 though. Sheet 4 and sheet 9 are not bomb.
Your brother was a cool guy. Hector. Your brother was a cool guy.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't play much at all.
I know, but he was.
Yeah, while Mike gets all set up, we remind you again, of course, that the Saturday afternoon tournament at Houston is a 5K guaranteed no limit hold'em. Beginning at 4 p.m., it's a $75 buy-in with an additional $50 add-on. It is optional, but that optional add-on will get you an additional $40,000 in chips. So we'll see a couple of boards now that everybody's been dealt. As we wait for the flops to make an appearance, 7-5-6 on the top board. It appears to be, wow, 5-4-6 on the bottom. These are some interestingly coordinated boards to get things going. Flush draws on both. Ron will check his option, and here comes the first bet. It's a pot-sized bet from #1 draft pick, who ended up flopping top set on the top board, as well as an open-ender and an overpair on the bottom board. Meanwhile, Ron ended up flopping the nut straight with his 8-9 of clubs.
All in for
And now Ron is going to move all in.
145, 175, 180, 182. 180 bump out, nothing in there.
So all in goes Ron. Number 1 draft pick going to make the call. And Joe got game, who also flopped the nut straight up top as well. He's open-ended for a straight flush as well. So one player is all in. All action from here on will be on the side. So we now wait for the turn cards. Gonna wait just a second for them as the computer will update shortly. And bottom board appears to have paired 6s. Meanwhile, it looks like the flush came into fruition for Joe got game. And wow, Joe holding 4 spades in his hand. Number 1 draft pick. Gonna stick around. So the side pot is building as now Ron drawing dead. Board pairs up top, so 7's full up top now. And would you look at that? The 7s are going to work as well for number 1 draft pick on the bottom board.
You probably got the bottom. No. I got a 7's full.
Oh, never mind. Ron does have the bottom board locked up with the ace of clubs. So crisis averted for Ron.
Yeah, this pair of 7s in the straight. I got a pair of aces, 6 and bottom.
I'd open it straight flush.
Wow. Joe got game. Absolutely sickening. Does turn the flush. Still has the straight flush redraw.
Oh, you did 9-8 also?
But Ron does end up taking that bottom board.
You had one of my straight flush outs. I was. That's like
Not that turn, so he's in the NCAA. He was playing the bottom, pulled out the bottom. You know, see something cool? These are like dress pants, right?
well, it's kind of screwed because the bottom has a lot of my boat outs.
You hold the pot on the turn though?
What?
You hold the pot on the turn?
I have to, yeah. Because my boat outs are.
I've never
fucked,
caught
like
it.
a 5 and 6 on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't pot turn. I think it's down, like.
Yeah, well, if you did nut spades, you can pot. You can't pot without nut spades.
Okay, add 1,000 to shoot a couple things.
Just pull that out of your pocket.
Had I known you had yellow chips in your pocket, I would have snapped with my straight. There's a reason why. Don't worry, there's no more. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'll just have to do
Sorry, here, man. I pulled it straight on.
Two full.
And looky here, looky here. Michael's got himself another premium pocket pair. This time it is jacks. And Squish with 7 deuce. We know the 7 deuce game is still live.
I had a gutter. That's it.
And Squish just going to flat with it. Again, not exactly the best strategy for the 7 deuce game. He's going to hope to get lucky on this flop.
Yeah.
4 players will see the flop. Jack's leading the way. And he does end up flopping middle set with those jacks. And the harsh part of this is nobody is holding an ace. That's usually the dream once you're called after opening jacks. But the bet from Michael's 25. Squish is going to stick around here, maybe looking to bluff this river. But now he's got himself a pair of deuces to add some equity. But you can still see drawing at 0%. Meanwhile, Dango's is open-ended. Can catch a queen or a 7.
130.
Of course, with Squish drawing at 0%, that means the other deuces have been burned. The 7 is going to give a straight to Dango's. And if he does catch a deuce anyway, that's going to give a full house to Michael. It's like truly in between a rock and a hard place here. But understandable that he stuck around. But at the same time, you throw in a raise pre-flop. You can easily play off that ace if you're Squish. But now he's going to light some money on fire. 130 is the bet. And to the river we go. Don't do it. Oh, no. That is the worst case scenario for Squish. Absolute worst case scenario. Michael with a full house. Squish going perfect for deuces. See what kind of value Michael goes with here. $500 is the bet. Squish thinks he's sitting pretty, and he's got 705 to play with here. I can't see a future where this doesn't go all in. In the worst case scenario. I think the only thing that may save him from not going all in was that the fact that it was the deuce of clubs. It did complete the club flush draw. In a sub-1 SPR, he went perfect for deuces. Just making the call, great discipline, but he's going to be very disappointed in what he sees get turned over. Jack's full, taking down trip deuces.
Oh my god.
What the heck?
In the immortal words of the Catman, ay-ya.
I lost a minute. I'm up to you.
Yeah, you did.
Stop these fantasies.
Yeah. I didn't put it on deck.
When he overbet the pot, I thought it was a bluff.
No. Because it was 25 on the flop and then 130 and then 500.
But no,
He put me on the flush.
So we take a quick break away from the carnage to remind you that your weekend gets off to the best start with the Friday Mayhem Super, a $10,000 guaranteed no-limit hold'em tournament with a buy-in of $20 as well as unlimited rebuys for $20 as well. We're guaranteeing $3,500 to first place. So if you're looking for Friday plans, look no further. I got you.
We're taking on the flesh. That's the only three fold, four fold, five fold, six pack. He never has 8 6, 7 fold, 8 fold.
And Joe got game with the suited gapper. Meanwhile, Squish now with Ace King. Boy, and what a time to wake up with it, too. It looks like a tilt raise.
193,
He's all in for $205. See what number one draft pick can do as you see the eyes sink into the hands in the 2 seed.
193.
He will find the laydown, and I don't think Joe is going to go anywhere pre-flop for a little over $200 with a suited gapper. Though Squish takes it down.
Ace 10 offsuit. I mean, I'd be like defending my nit button and like.
So did I. 7-4.
Of course, you can hear just in the conversation there for number one draft pick, just the presence of that nit button made him want to call. But again, you got to ask yourself, is it worth the $10 if you end up losing 205 to Squish in that pot? I really don't think so.
And then there were 2.
And with that, there are 2 players remaining at the table. They're holding their nit buttons. Number one draft pick is one of them. And I'm trying to remember who the last one is.
4 fold, 5 30.
We wait to get a view of the situation. But Joe got game with the Rockets. American Airlines, Pocket Aces, Weapons of Mass Destruction, whatever school of thought you belong to.
Yeah, 10x is the new 3x. So.
With aces here, facing a raise already from Dangos. Here comes the 3-bet. Gonna make it 85 to go. Make matters worse, I do believe Dangos is the other player that hasn't. No, it is Mark who hasn't released it. So both players who are looking to release their button are not in this pot. It's aces against Jack 9 suited. And oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna be sick. Ends up with second pair on a paired board is Dangos, the over pair for Joe's Got Game. And going all in is Dangos on the 9 snap called by aces. $303, and now it's up to the run out here. Joe got game in truly dominating position. There's the 7 of clubs to the river. It's the jack, but aces are still good. Aces and 10s going to be better than jacks and 9s. Even then, it's going to be jacks and 10s anyway. 9 won't play anymore with that run out. And with that, it looks like Dango's going to be reaching into his wallet, see if he can grab another bullet to fire here. Again, it's been a very entertaining show. Hope everybody's enjoying it wherever you're watching from. And if you haven't already hit that like button, go ahead and do so now. If you haven't subscribed, why not? You're coming back every week anyway. Don't miss any exciting action from any streaming Texas Card House location across the great Lone Star State.
Even if there's one person that I thought was
250 Jim and 250.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you was least likely, but I haven't picked up shit in the longest time.
Yeah, I know.
So it's going to be number one draft pick and Mark, the last 2 players holding on to the knit button. Loser of the knit game will pay a knit tax of $10 to each player. This hand will be played as Pot Limit Omaha.
I'm going to get a second. Seat 6. We're good. Thank you. Hi, gentlemen. Got a lot of
And
sixes.
Dango's ace 6, 5, 4.
250.
Does have the ace suited in spades.
Call 6, seat 4. I'm thinking they. No, for 6.
Pot's 30.
30. Oh, I'm sorry, you're asking 30. Yeah, fine. 30 is about 6. Call 6. Call
We wait for everything to catch up here.
9.
Always hard to keep track of this stuff pre-flop here. Once there's a raise and 2 or 3 callers, a lot easier to look at what everybody's holding on to. Well, right now, it looks like even with that raise, nobody is being scared off. And with everybody with semi-premium holdings, that means we're going to have a whole heap of garbage on the flop. I mean, when all the dust settles here, it looks like we got 6 players that are going to see this flop.
7 players.
7 players, as a matter of fact, as our dealer Mike says. And the flop comes Queen, Queen, 8. I know of at least one player that's holding a queen. That is Ron, who is holding on to it. And Ron, with plenty of great cards to try and catch a boat with.
2 fold, 3 fold, 5 fold.
Of course, Joe got game. We have to speculate on one card, but we get back around to Squish, who will fold it as well. So Ron takes it down. Beautifully done.
Have the queen in every high card. Every picture card.
Every card was above it.
Double suited? Oh. You didn't re-follow that.
Dave and Buster. What was your name? Mark. Alright, so even after Mark gets rid of his button, I want Ethan to have to keep his until he officially
It's
gets
like a fair shake.
Yeah, it's like
I'm right handed.
It's like the.
Everyone.
Y'all read the Scarlet Letter, right? More recently than we have. There you go.
Small blind.
I spent an extra $5 for every orbit it takes me to win a hand.
Yeah. No, every. Don't give me any
Every
idea.
hand, okay, yeah.
Not every orbit. Too generous.
I can honestly say I've never heard that pitched before when it comes to the knit game.
Call.
But I gotta say, I really am not on board with it if I were playing.
7 fold, 8 fold, 9 fold. Uh-oh. 1 fold.
Ron with ace 4, but here comes #1 draft pick. He's got the button still in front of him and 7 deuce. This could be a double whammy. He's around the Michael with king 10. And it looks like Mark has the gun cocked to fold here. He does. So if #1 draft pick takes this down, he is going to not only collect the 7 deuce bounty, but he will avoid having to pay the knit tax. Dangos looks like he will make the call and does so holding pocket 6s. So #1 draft pick with 1 over to the pocket pair of Dangos.
Trying to make a move.
150. That's 1.
And Dangos with just $70 behind now. Little surprised to see Dangos not go all in pre-flop. But now to the flop we go. And it's ace 10-10. So should the board pair again, 7 high would be good. All in draft picks, all in. Dango snap calls. We go to the turn. It's the ace, so 7 high is good. Oh
I
no!
win. Seven kicker plays.
Oh my
High
god!
with
No
7
way.
deuce.
Holy
The worst
crap!
starting hand in poker.
No way!
What the hell?
Oh my!
I had a king.
When
you're forced to go
Otherwise, you have to pay everyone like 70, 80.
Well, I hope no one else didn't go in.
Wow. So Mark ends up having to pay everybody at the table $10.
Knowing that
And
you
he'll also have to pay an additional $10 to #1 draft pick for taking down that pot with 7
Lock it up
deuce.
and pay either, so we don't have to.
Boy, anything over a 7 and they chop that pot.
The 7 plays.
So we should pay him first for the 7.
Dude, just,
Or should Mark?
if he just pays me the 80, then that's everyone's 7 deuce back. Like, everyone's gonna get 10 bucks and pay it back to me anyway.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, just pay him.
Wait, I don't, just tell me what to do.
Just pay Ethan, all of our money.
Okay.
You didn't deserve that, Mark. You didn't deserve it.
That was insane.
70, I'm not in.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely insane. And Donald Davis, absolutely. Just one word to describe that. Crazy.
Mark. Oh wait, no, please.
That's crazy.
Oh, big sir.
And with that, we'll see if Dango's elects to fire again. He's already gone felt now twice in our show.
I'm paying you all, so I can do it.
Stupidest hand
That was crazy.
Ron now with Ace King from the low jack.
He didn't say he was going.
Gonna bump it up to 20. Number 1 draft pick. He's got
You always
jacks.
win there, baby.
I honestly thought there was a chance I was just dead on the phone.
Yeah.
And he's gonna bump it up to 60. Michael's got 7 deuce now. Let's see it again.
7 was.
Of course, he's gonna be raising into a buzzsaw here.
Hey, get rid of your button.
Yeah.
205.
Raise 205.
We're restarting?
3.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you gotta go soon.
7 deuces, so not to nigga.
7, yeah.
Joe got game with a suited connector saying no thank you. Again, the raise now 205 from Michael. Ron now with Ace King sitting on 458. You know it's coming.
Especially if you can put it on like several times a night.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just see how it really.
It did a good job. Or at least it made me like skeptical, like more of every action. Yeah.
I mean, even if Ron doesn't do it, you know it's coming from number 1 draft pick. There it is. He's all in.
You're trying to hand them to me when you bought it. It's okay.
And wow, draft pick will fold the jacks. So we'll see now. Michael, does he have the metal to make this call and run out with 7 deuce? His cards are as live as they can get.
Well, he paid me 10 bucks because he wasn't in the Nick game, so he paid me the 10 bucks outside. Thank you.
465.
All in for $465. Draft pick folding the jacks. We'll see if Michael's got the metal to race, not to race, to run out with 7 deuce.
Twice is the first original run. It's split pot is knocked out.
And does make the call. So with 7 deuce, we'll see a run out against Ace King.
Yeah, he's back there.
Wait, is it the same guy?
And it looks like they are going to run it twice.
You gotta win that.
I feel really shitty.
So 2 full boards.
First board is what counts.
The guy who has been here? Oh, he stepped outside.
So if 7 deuce wins on the first board, they will collect the bounty. The second board will not play for the 7 deuce game, is what you're hearing.
4-bet, 5-bet jam, and like, if he doesn't have 7 deuce tonight, he does something better than that.
Unders on the table.
Yeah. It's either 7 deuce or like queen plus.
2 full boards.
Oh, you call. Okay, sorry.
2 full boards, so away we go. First board. Let's see some carnage here.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
There's a deuce. Can it hold? We go looking for another spade. So the king high flush takes the first board. And now to the bottom board, it's a jack. Jack high board, ace king out in front.
He made it.
And 6 maybe? No.
7 on the straight.
We got the 8 that gives the 7 the straight on the bottom board. So they wind up chopping this, but the 7 deuce will not get paid out as it was on the bottom board in which it won.
You have to win the first board.
Okay.
The first board counts for the values.
Okay.
For the Nick game and some.
$10.
4-card flush versus and then a 4-card straight.
We had nutted hands at that point. Other people get in, we're taking.
I was top 7. You got runner versus favored by 7. I was lost like shit.
If only you had
What you buying?
Queen or king.
500 for 6 bucks.
7 deuces then.
You have to pair.
And that concludes our second hour of coverage, and what a couple hours it has been. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. We still got a lot of show to go. Hoping we see the same high-octane action as we take a look at player stacks now. Joe got game sitting at $2,792 as the big stack. Meanwhile, Mark at $131.
Okay, good. That'll keep me accountable. I think I flat called it.
And Wes Tucker keeping you company throughout tonight's action as Ron will wake up with a suited King 9, the dog. Looks like Dango's going to go with a name change here. He's going to go by Dan Dan now. And there's going to be 3 players to the flop.
3 players.
Flop comes 9 high, rainbow, 9-5 deuce.
Don't resume the body hit game next time.
The Nick game?
So everybody catching a piece of this board, but Ron with the best of it.
45.
We got like over an hour.
And the bet comes through. It's going to be 45 to go. Joe with bottom pair.
Thanks for the Nick.
Does stick around, and I can only imagine Ryan will stick around too.
I know what you're saying. It's confusing.
Does have some backdoor wheel outs to go along with his middle pair. So everybody's going to the turn. Pot bloats to just under 200 bucks, and that is a perfect card for Ryan, as now he's open-ended, looking for an ace or a 6 for a straight. Meanwhile, the gutter ball now for Joe got game. Be looking for a 4, which would give Ryan 2 pair. And now the bet is 90. Joe will stick around, and now you got to wonder, is Ryan priced in to chase this open-ended draw? The answer is yes. So everybody will see the river. $468 in the middle. To the river we go. The board pairs trays, so 9s and trays will take it down, provided he's not bet out. Again, Ron's been the aggressor throughout this entire hand. We'll see if he slows down with the board pairing. Again, it goes tray, tray. So I don't really see a world where he does slow down. No draw was... Well, there was the wheel draw that could have been hit with ace 4, but does move all in for $343. And now with second pair, Ryan put to a decision. And Ron was also the pre-flop aggressor with his King 9 suited. And in doing so from under the gun, there's only a fair few 9X holdings that you would be opening with. In this case, the confusion may be enough to get paid off with here.
Great bluff, it's a bluff. It's a bluff.
And he will make the fold. Quality fold it is. Ron will take it down. And we have seen some old school power poker. We've seen some suck out poker. We have seen it all tonight. It's been a fantastic game. Super glad everybody is tuned in to watch with us. A good way to spend your Thursday evening. Again, hope everybody's Thursday is winding down great. For those who it's just starting, I know they exist out there. Hope it's off to a great start. And here's hoping that your weekend gets off to a great start tomorrow. If you're looking for that way to jumpstart your weekend, though, don't forget about the Friday Mayhem Super, a $20 buy-in tournament with a $10,000 guaranteed prize pool. First place is guaranteed to walk out with at least $3,500, and that's every Friday at 6 p.m. Well, definitely not a bad day's work. You can turn $20 into $3,500. I'd say that's a quality day's work, to say the absolute least.
I know who you are. It was me. That's my show. No, this is my first time. I didn't know what I was getting into. I wanted to play. And
Ace queen here for Squish from the big blind. Just gonna flat with it though. We get back around to Ryan, who's got the suited 10-6. Gonna call, draft pick. Now facing it is Squish with the limp jam. Goes all in. Draft pick gonna muck, and we'll see if Ryan wants to run out with 10-6 suited.
you would have said yes, I would have given it to you. 10-6 of hearts. I would have given it to you.
I believe you. I want it, but yes and no.
Yes and no.
I'm never in good shape. I'm only in bad shape or worse shape, so
And spoken like someone who's reaching that state of tilt from Ryan.
There we go. Yes, we do.
Where's over here, right? Your box?
I'll give it to you this time.
I'm good. What are you studying? I got my master's in that.
$6 straddle. Finance?
My undergrad in
We're good, Joe. Thank you.
tried doing.
First act,
Pocket pair of fours facing the straddle. Says no thank you. And draft picks got 10s. Ryan with the Mighty Ducks. Here we go. Gonna give pocket deuces some love. Ryan is gonna flat with them. Kings into aces. Also gonna stick around with his ace-4 offsuit. Into the flop we go. It is a king high board, 2 hearts.
Check 2, check 7, check 8.
So the pocket pair of 10s is good. The queen gonna bring the gutter ball into play for draft pick, and that's gonna bring him out of the woodworks to bet.
60, 60.
Hope you have a fantastic flight, my friend. Fly safe.
You might not have. Well, it might not have been a bluff.
LV Coleman, good evening to you, my friend.
I definitely don't know.
Hope your Thursday is treating you well.
You had some sort of freaking ace, but I don't know like whether my kick was really bad.
Oh, if you did an ace, you just hit an ace. Oh no, you were very bad. Not very bad.
I was very bad.
You were very. I don't care.
Marketing program, in my opinion, but
I was gonna turn it into like Jack
going
10.
to give you a lot of exposure if you're interested in marketing.
I was still thinking I could have the best
It's
hand.
gonna give you a lot of exposure.
No, I just got
battle?
And
$6 straddle, seek 9.
I just played it because on the button.
something more
Yeah.
second semester, sophomore year.
That board was so good for you. I was like,
Start pursuing, but
Yeah.
it's good to put on your card.
And we'll get you an update on the Thursday 10K tournament in just a moment. We get back to Ron. A straddle from the button, meaning the small blind will be first to act.
4 clubs, exposed.
I have the 4 club.
Get around to Michael. Michael gonna fold his pocket fours.
Seek 4, call 6, 6.
And Mark with the computer hand here. Queen 7.
Okay, once again it's 6. One more.
Squish with ace high.
5 fold, 6 fold, 7 fold.
Looks like Squish will stick around as well.
My undergrad, I finished in 17 and then I did a master's.
Actually, Squish gonna make the race here. Makes it 12 to go.
A long time in College Station.
He woke up in the straddle with it. And then Mark's gonna go ahead and flat it. Queen 7, ace 6, away we go.
Okay, cool.
Queen in the window. The Queen 7 out front does go check, check. To the turn we go. There's the ace. So Squish thunders out in front with a pair of aces. And still goes check, check to the river. Oh, gross. As Mark ends up hitting another queen on the river. He's got this hand locked down. Here comes the bet now from Mark. He's been dormant up until that river. See if Squish will pay him off here with the ace.
They're pretty close to hand if you wanted to spread back for
But it's blowing up.
And Squish will find the fold button. So with that, we've got ourselves a dealer chain. And you know what that means. It's time for another double board PLO bomb pot.
I've not gotten in it. Guys, that scratched my head. I didn't hear it.
I mean, he doesn't have.
I was about to standard raise it, and then I see the 4th flip over.
Mike, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ron.
I can't even live.
And he's doing well.
So we say good night to Mike and welcome into the box for Luke as he will take over the dealing duties. And it's time for a bomb pot. And every player will ante $10. They will receive 4 cards face down and see 2 flops. So $10 to see 10 cards, that's the best price in town.
This is the bomb pot hand.
You don't really have options.
Maybe I would say like I have a degree in that. We're not
We're not alive.
Yes.
There's a ton.
Yeah, if you get a CPA, I mean, it's really.
You're set. I mean, you don't need another degree.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for a CFO in our company right now. We want, I mean, one of the requirements is we gotta have a CPA.
Nobody wants to go back and look at
I mean, there's just very few people that.
Where do you work?
There are, I'm a partner in oil and gas company called Catalina.
So it looks like everybody's received their hand. Let's go ahead and get to those flops. It's like Ryan, we're going to have to speculate on his final card there. First board, 10 high, 2 clubs, and a paired board on the bottom.
Oh, my buddy. 2 checks, 3 checks.
So away we go.
We had 4 bets, 20. See, 5 bets, 20.
Can you see there? Looks like a player opting not to do the bomb potting. It is completely optional. You're never going to be forced to do it. Joe Got Game does have one of the 8s. As well as a pocket pair of queens. Backdoor hearts as well on that bottom board. And he does raise it up, makes it 140 to go. Ryan, with his mystery holding, going to make the call. A call from Ron as well in the 1 seat. He's got pocket pair of kings as well as a pair of 10s on that top board. And that's going to bring in Dan Dan as well. So 4 players as this pot bloats to over $640. Or right at $640.
4 players.
8-5, got the boat. And he does. I missed that 5. Thank you very much, my friend. Calverin, the Angry Gamer, thank you very much. He's up flopping the boat. 7 on the bottom, 4 up top.
345.
Again, the second nut flush up top for Ron with the king at 7 of clubs. And we know Ryan not going to be able to beat it even if he has a club because the ace of clubs
6 raises.
would be at the front of his hand. See just what happens there. He does fold it. So Ron got that top board on lock. Joe Got Game, however, going to bump things up. Makes it 1,690. That's going to put Ron all in. Okay, Ron in good shape on that top board, but again, a bet like this is going to put you all in. It's not an easy call. And he will make the fold. Wow. So we go to the river. Take a look there. Dan Dan and Joe Got Game going to chop this thing up. And flopping a set of 6s is Dan Dan. Couldn't improve there, but Joe Got Game got the bottom board on lock after flopping the boat. 8's full of 5s. So Joe ends up not getting sucked out on in a bomb pot. Things are looking up for Joe. And with that, we go back to our regularly scheduled hold'em. And again, if you haven't already made plans to do so, it's in full swing. The main event of the Spring Classic. Getting kicked off last night. 2 flights today. We've got a couple flights tomorrow. A couple flights Saturday as well. And of course, the morning turbo flight on Sunday. Again, it's a $400,000 guarantee. and a $600 buy-in. So plenty of action when it comes to the main event. Again, that's in spring. You can catch it through till Sunday. Still a last chance event as well if you can't make that main event. And it looks like amidst the action with the last dealer Mike, this next hand will be played as just normal pot limit Omaha. Players are playing with a reverse button, so when the reverse button and the dealer button meet, that hand will be played as pot limit Omaha. And you see there, Dan. Interesting hand, but he's getting a good price to see a flop with it. And now we'll see what Ron elects. Ron does elect to make the raise. He's going to make it 30 to go. That should chase away hands like Dan, but he's going to stick around with it. Ryan as well, holding a king high doogie. And off we go to the flop. Flop comes 10-4 deuce, 2 clubs. And no player with a club draw. The 9s are out front right now. Wow. And now another 10, so a paired board. Flush draw as well for Squish to go along with it. And he does hit the flush on the river. Ron made a pair of aces in the process, but Squish has this thing locked down.
1 bet, 75.
And now Squish with a very small flush. Facing a $75 bet. He will make the fold. Wow, Ron getting one through. Boy, we've seen some tight laydowns tonight. But all in all, it's been a really entertaining table. Yeah, we've had action, we've had drama, we've had it all.
What?
$6 straddle on the button straddle.
Is your first Thursday, Ryan, playing?
What's up?
Your first Thursday on the stream?
Yeah, first time ever on the stream.
For real?
Did not intend to be on this thing, but here I am.
Straddle on the button. 3 folds.
So a button straddle.
4 calls.
To get back around to Dan, ace tray off suit, saying no thank you. Ron with king queen in the cutoff, definite raise candidate. And number 1 draft pick with his suited connectors is going nowhere. Mark with the Dolly Parton,
4 calls.
working 9 to 5. And we'll see a flop 3 ways. Jack, ace, deuce on the flop, 2 clubs. So looking for a 10 is Ron.
35, 2 folds, 4 folds.
And he'll chase everybody away with his 2 big cards.
How do you like it? I want to like the nicer dorms. So it's like it's a modular style one, so it comes with
$6 straddle on the button.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Went to high school. Okay.
Straddle on the button.
No, we gotta lease for a house. Dorm's nice and convenient.
In a straddle and a call from Mark.
6 folds, 7 folds, 8 folds, 9 folds, 1 fold, 2 folds.
Number 1 draft pick, King, Deuce, and Hearts. And now Michael, the straddler, is going to raise it. As he should, with everybody limping to him. Going to make it 31 to go. Mark going to stick around. In 10-9 offsuit, good middle board coverage. I like that hand. We go to the flop. And that's why he's open-ended.
4 checks, 2 checks, 3 checks.
Checks round and does end up hitting it. Wow. Beautifully done. Everybody else drawing completely dead. And that's going to wake up the least likely candidate to make a bet. And that is number 1 draft pick, Michael, who ended up turning a pair of 8s. Going to be happy here to maybe call, see if he can float 2 pair on the river. You know that if he does call, Mark is all in. Absolutely. There's no escaping this here. He's all in. He's got the nuts. And that's going to bring the fold from number 1 draft pick. And can Michael make the fold here? Is he going to pay him the extra $96? And there is the fold. So Mark has it.
I
thought I had it. I thought I had it.
You might not have it.
You lazy fool, I fold.
And again, as promised, you still got an update coming here from the Thursday 10K guarantee. And right now, we're in the 6-12-12, 600, 1200, 1200 blind level. You still got about 48 minutes to register. So come on in. The water is fine.
Good to go. 7 folds. 8 folds. 9 folds.
And Ron waking up in the low jack with queens. It's going to bump it up, make it 20. It's going to chase away draft pick. Queen 10 now for Michael.
I'm not going to be a
5 folds.
15, 20.
And it's suited big lick. 6-9 in spades.
3 players.
Flop comes deuce 5 tray. Gutter ball for Joe. Looking for a 4 to complete the straight. Meanwhile, Ron got the overpair to the board. Michael with 2 over cards. And Joe gonna bet it. Definitely a flop in his defending range from the big blind. And there's a raise coming from Ron.
70.
75 will be the raise. It'll chase Michael out. He's got the gutter ball and backdoor spades and a big stack. He can definitely afford to speculate here. He will make the call, so we go to the turn. $201 in the middle. And now the 7 brings in a double gutter opportunity. Looking for an 8 or a 4. Ron's still ahead with queens, and he's going to continue to bet at it, as he should. 115 is the bet. And he will make the call. We go to the river. There's the 8. That does complete the straight. Joe got game, sucks out on Ron. And now, to bet for some value here. And easy at this point, based on the betting, to put Ron on an overpair to the board. The sneaky straight coming into play on the river. He's going to jam all in. Masterful play. And Ron snap calling, and he's not going to like what he sees. The river straight is good. We'll see if Ron elects to fire again. The rich get richer as this stack now soars up to $3,600. And it looks like that will be it for Ron as he disappears into the fluorescent luminescence of the main card room.
Close.
So we'll play 8-handed until we can get that seat filled. If you or anyone's looking to get on the list to play not only on TCH Live, but to get on the list to play in our exhilarating, action-packed, everyday games in the main room, scan that QR code, the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, get you on the wait list for a seat in Houston's nicest card room.
15. 4 folds, 5 folds. That's usually how it is for me. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Heads up, we will go when all the dust settles here. So queen high flop. Meanwhile, 4-10-8 does pick up a gutter ball to a 9. 5 of spades on the turn. Yeah, Michael gonna need to bet here. Last thing he wants is to be sucked out on by a straight hand. And Michael will take it down, not gonna chase anymore.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a 6.
No, he didn't. I think it's an overpair most likely.
It's snapping off like.
Snapped it off.
I don't know about the. How many times we put that guy on?
Squish with a 7 of hearts. Just gonna flat here under the gun, and it looks like we do have a new face that will be sitting in the 1 seat. Get a name for that face in just a moment. Dan folding his a6. And kings into aces will stick around with his 10-9 offsuit, 10-9 suited for draft pick. Meanwhile, a7 of hearts for squish. Both the 10-9 hands pick up a gutter ball to a 7. Ace high still out in front right now. No heart draw. Kings and the aces will stick around. So too will squish. So we go to the turn. Deuce of clubs. Slows everybody down. The 5 Probably just going to bring this to a complete grinding halt, unless kings into aces can come up big with a bluff. He will not. It checks over to draft pick, and he's going to take a stab at this. $45 is the bet. Easy fold for kings into aces.
Really? I think that's like one of the best
Does fold and squish. Again, we know he's not going to make this call with ace high, just based on past behavior. But I love being surprised. He's got a Canadian straight. That's about it. He ends up folding it.
And you can do GPA.
And is that alright for the stream?
Yeah.
Name?
I'm gonna rip it.
I want credit in high school too. How? When you're spending all the time.
Okay, yeah, and we can't
Rip it into 600.
No, we can't have stuff.
I didn't start playing.
Oh, you can have one. Just me.
If you do, it's going to be more stuff.
Give me your 40 dice.
With you, I was not sure.
You have it.
You could have had it.
A little bit. I'm really
Keep saving me.
And getting a stat count of the new face at the table.
I know we have the worst hand in the three.
Get back to the action
I did
here.
not know he did not.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I was
And
like,
not only that, all
I'm stuck to be like hero called me like king high, and then he just calls you.
yeah, I know.
regulation. I mean, since you gotta get around.
Kings into aces. King 5 of diamonds.
I was gonna raise you. I was gonna actually raise you.
Oh, that would have sucked even more if you.
And it is Jesus that will be joining us.
That's what I was afraid of. I was literally gonna raise you, but with him.
And Jesus wasting no time. He's going to raise his first hand.
It definitely would have done the trick.
Yeah, I had 9 taps. 35.
Ryan with 4s now on the button.
Oh, you had 9 taps also?
Getting a good price to go set mining here, it seems. And we're going to go heads up to the flop.
Heads up.
Is connecting with a pair of 10s is Jesus, so he's well out in front right now. Ryan going to be happy to check this back here, see what he can pick up on the turn. Instead, just falling further and further from the, I want to say the plus EV zone. He's going to fold his option here, of course. And the Poker Atlas Tour makes its second stop at TCH Houston and does so between April 10th and 22nd. 16 total trophy events and over $1 million in guarantees on the line. And everything culminating in a $500,000 guaranteed main event. And full schedule is available online, both on Poker Atlas and at tch.com, the Houston site. Just click on the Houston button, you'll be redirected to the Houston homepage. And Ryan here with Ace King.
Usually it's usually like holidays, that type of thing, but I don't know. Yeah, it's so random.
That's fucking sick. How much is it?
45.
Jesus with a suited ace of his own here. Ace 10 in diamonds. Again, $45 is the bet. Mark with a suited queen. We get back around to Joe Got Game, who's got a suited ace of his own. So we know there's only one ace left in the deck. 3 ways we go to the flop. And gin flop. Wow, flopping the nut flush is Joe Got Game. Top pair, top kicker for Ryan. And a pair of 10s with top kicker for Jesus. This is gonna get bloody. And 75 the bet. We'll see if Joe, who's got the absolute nuts right now, does block the straight flush with his 6 of hearts. So any opportunity for that, it's gonna have to go perfect with an 8 and a 9 to even give the jack an opportunity to straighten out for the flush. And here comes the raise. Joe is going all in. And he's gonna bring Ryan with him. Oh boy.
Twice, please.
Going twice.
They're gonna run it twice.
King 10.
The nut flush drawing to a mere 2%. There it is. He's got outs for this top board. That won't do it. And now looking for a queen to chop this up. Instead, winds up losing it all on the run out.
Sorry. You're
Joe?
And with that, we'll see if Ryan elects to buy back in. So we'll wait to see if he does in fact fire again, but
I'll grab it.
looks like this next hand is going to be played as Pot Limit Omaha.
Small blind, big blind. Got a $6 straddle on the button.
No, sometimes the Thursday one street, 3 live stream games are really good. Like the one I played, and the one we played that one time, I felt like it was pretty like damn. This one's been much better, yeah. And stacks were small, there wasn't much action.
Looks like we got a straddle on the button as well, which means Jesus will be first to act, and he's gonna bump it up, makes it 15 to go.
4 calls. Learn the rules. 5 calls. 6 calls. 7 calls.
And aces into kings gonna stick around. And Squish with pocket kings with a 6-5 offsuit to accompany it. Does have a suited king, actually, with the king 5 of hearts.
Or do you want to just build the mountain?
Raises all in.
And Squish raises it. Jesus moving all in. And he's got low boards crushed right now. Well, pretty much any wheel flop, Jesus could run away with this.
Actually, that was a stupid comment. After the picture you just showed me on Monday, it was like 4 layers high.
Yeah, I had to.
Back around to Dan now, who's got a suited queen and a pair of 7s.
I really couldn't beat it. I was in for so much.
You're really good at getting unstuck. You're like, if only you could do that to someone just take.
Yeah, it looks like Dan wants to stick around and see this flop. He will make the call.
197.
Kings into aces now. And the total bet is $197. And Squish gonna put the rest of his stack in as well. So we're gonna have a side pot. And we're still gonna have some action as well. So give Luke a second to make these pots here.
Yeah, it's anything gap.
Sign. We'll learn on YouTube.
That's your wink at me. What you
So
got?
2 players all in, 2 players still to bet at it. So we've got 3 pots.
Too bad actually, don't say nothing.
Anything bet from here on will go in the side pot, and the flop comes 8 high, 8-7 deuce. 2 hearts. Squish has the heart draw. That's going to bring Dan all in after flopping a set of 7s. Now we'll see if kings into aces can muster a call here. Very good thing pointed out by Really David going into this flop. Definitely so. And really on a board like this has got to be a real quick fold for aces into kings. You got to go perfect for absolutely anything. And really the biggest hand that you could hope for at this point is going to be going perfect for a wheel. Or you could hope to go perfect with clubs as well, now that I look at it again with Jack 10. But also pick up a 9 for a straight, but boy, talk about a tough spot. So now everything is done. The betting is over. We go to the turn. It's the ace to the river, and there's a 10. So when all the dust settles, Dan is going to walk away with everything. The flush misses. Jesus cannot improve. So Dan will take it all.
Good.
And with that, it looks like we're going to end up saying goodnight to Squish as he'll disappear into the fluorescent luminescence of the main card room.
That was scary.
It was a well-played evening, my friend. Thanks so much for coming out. And those PLO hands can be a killer, as you can see there.
Yeah, he said he's coming back. I think he's at 18. He's on button.
As the player coming up, anybody want to take the seat 9? No? Cool.
And it looks like Ryan has returned to the table. Good to see him come back. And action to Mark under the gun with some unsuited garbage. Looks like Dan wasn't at the table in time to play his ace hand. See, guess what happened there? But we get back to kings into aces, who wakes up with a offsuit dog, king 9, 9-8 for Jesus. And he's going to bump things up, makes it 70 to go. Joe got game with a suited queen. You know he's not going anywhere pre-flop here. Really? Wow. Was not expecting to see a fold there from Joe, but nonetheless, Jesus will take the pot down pre-flop. We've got another new face joining our show this evening. He'll occupy seat 5. We'll get a name to go with that face in just a moment.
I'm just an avid fan.
I respect the hell
I have some stories.
Yeah?
Well, again, it's always great to see a rotation of friendly faces.
This guy knows. Did you get thrown out? So there's a game called Milk Jug Toss.
Oh, I know
know what you're talking
That's the
about.
easiest game to cheat on, yeah.
Well, you can cheat, but you can also just get really good.
I'm really good. Are you like an expert level suckouts player?
I mean, I played every Wednesday.
Like
for
S
hours.
tier milk level throwing?
I'm not very talented, but I like played every Wednesday, a half price Wednesday, and trained.
Yeah?
And I made lots of money by basically being the game of skill. So I got like lots of Oculus Quests and then resold them on eBay.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's how I have all this money to blow.
That's actually awesome.
That's quite the business scheme.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it ends.
Yeah, it looks like we will be in for a dealer change next hand, but for now we get back to the action at hand.
That's what I'm going to think for the rest of my life then.
Mark gonna make the call with Big Lick.
With a million chips on it. Ticket, sorry.
And now Dan, a suited King 8, definitely a raise candidate from the low jack. Kings into aces with his suited connectors, gonna stick around. Jesus says no thank you. And wow, higher suited connectors. This one for draft pick. He's gonna 3-bet it, make it 75.
Yeah, I have the memories.
Did you get that hat there as well?
Does he know we're playing 7?
Oh, no.
And now Dan with a suited king.
You tell him you should have told me like 2 minutes ago.
You have it? You did, I feel bad.
As soon as you get it, or you have to win with it.
You have to show it down as a winner.
Oh, yeah, you can't just get it and just like. You have to win the hand. That's the whole point. That'd be the last fun if you just like happen.
He will find the fold button. And now aces into kings. He is going to make the call. So both players with spades. The flop coming up jack high. Both players with a gutter ball. And both players with backdoor spade draws. And kings into aces raises to 200. Draft pick sticking around. And now he's got 3 jacks. Kings into aces moves all in. My goodness.
I didn't see. I know. You didn't see the black?
Oh my goodness. He's drawing at 7%. He needs a 6, but he's putting draft pick to the test.
745.
And moving all in here. This would be one of the more interesting moves we've seen. Should it get through? We've seen some really tight laydowns tonight. Let's see if draft pick can join that elite class of laydown. But again, I do not think it's going to happen. He blocks the straight by holding one of the 10s. There it is. There it is. There's the call. And they've agreed to run it twice. So to the first river we go. It's a deuce. Now looking for a 6 and only a 6 on that second board. He can't improve, so the jack 10 of draft pick is good. Kings into aces goes Phelps.
I would have folded this jack.
I have just one experience. I'm coming back in. Hang on. What the fuck happened?
You were supposed to be my accountability buddy?
Yeah.
We were supposed to hard stop 15 minutes ago?
No, I can't.
Okay, here we are.
Well, I was the only one allowed to make references to that show on this one. Good night.
Luke.
And with that, the reign of terror of Luke is over.
I know.
And we will hand things off to Miss Kath.
I'm going to be in for 1,000.
And it looks like aces into kings is going to buy back in for 1,000. And with the dealer change, it means we've got ourselves another double board PLO bomb pot coming your way.
The weather's not out, but I genuinely like the diversity. I think you can
those,
You can meet people from the way.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Yes,
there's not many cities. The only two like
I mean, have you traveled around the States much?
not much, but they're here. A rack to color up.
You wanna
A
play
rack to
the
color
bumper?
earth.
You wanna play the bumper?
It's
Maybe
not.
have a beat.
No?
I mean, yeah, not out of America though. I've been to Canada and Mexico. So, I'm just comparing everything.
It's almost similar.
I'd imagine from someone with as big of a perspective as yours, but for me, this place is.
And while we have the dealer handoff again, we remind you that every Saturday at TCH Houston, 4 p.m., we've got a 5K guaranteed no limit hold'em tournament. A $75 buy-in with an optional $50 add-on. The $50 add-on will get you an additional $40,000 in chips. So a 5K guarantee, that is every Saturday at 4 p.m.
7 players.
So to the flops we go for our bomb pots. 8-8 jack on the top board. And king 5-6 on the bottom. Let's take a look at what we're working with.
Bet 30.
Bet is 30 as, oh, why not? Betting flopping quad 8s on the top board. Can't ask for much better than that. We get around to Ryan here. Got himself a king on that bottom board. And there's the call from Jesus, who's got himself a flush draw. As well as a jack on that top board. Now when all the dust settles, though,
4 players.
4 players will go to the turns. Tray of spades and now the deuce of hearts. So the flush is complete for Jesus on the bottom board, as well as it is for draft pick. So draft pick with the nut flush. This is going to be chopped between Benton and draft pick. Now Ryan, who's got himself a set of deuces on the bottom board. See if he can stick around. And it's $190 to go right now. He will find the call. Meanwhile, Jesus looks like he will find the fold with the lesser flush. So some good awareness from Jesus. We get back around now to draft pick with the nut flush on the bottom board. And it looks like draft pick thinking about potting this. Instead, just does settle. No, he does pot it. Makes it 760 to go.
Actually, there's 1,000.
Moving all in now is Benson. Oh my goodness, what a pot we got. And now Ryan does fold the deuces, so when all this is done, this will be chopped. We go to the rivers, quads, and the nut flush. Chop it up. But wow, talk about A bummer for Ryan as he would have filled up on the river to take it down.
I did it again, but I would have voted.
I knew you had Jack.
I had a straight draw on the bottom if I had a chance you had jacks.
And with that, aces into kings, comes back to the table. He's got another 1,000 to play with.
I have 7, 5, 8, 12.
And you gotta love bomb pots. It's an unwritten rule in the Houston poker scene. And after that monster bomb pot, that does bring our third hour of coverage to a conclusion. And still got a little ways to go. But it has been an exhilarating show, to say the least. Again, Wes Tucker here keeping you company on TCH Live. If you haven't already, now is the time. Go ahead, hit that like button for us. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Don't miss any action from any streaming Texas Card House location across the great Lone Star State.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing so good. I'm just
You
kind
did
of
not, you did not eat food today, huh?
Had I not gotten there, I
That's
probably
why I'm playing so bad.
Six of trial, everybody see?
Well, you were first.
8. 6 of straddle, please wait.
Exactly.
6 is the best.
So a straddle from Michael on the button. Going to bring in the raise from Benton. Going to make it 25 to go. And wow, here we go. Ryan with aces. A chance at redemption after missing half of a huge bomb pot.
Raise 70.
A raise coming in from Ryan. He's going to make it 70 to go. Going to chase everybody away. So Ryan takes it down pre-flop.
Hey, man.
Alright, what the hell? If we're gonna put the Nick game back on, I'm in for the duration.
Alright.
Let's go ahead.
Anyone good for that? Everyone good for that?
Are we not banned it? Huh?
Nick game? They're staying.
Yeah, wait, did you not get paid for 7 dudes?
No, yeah,
And
they
it sounds like we've got another round of the Nick game coming your way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he owed 7 dudes, not through 10 bucks.
I'll be sure to
Oh,
say
then what did
7
you do
dudes
with
every
10
hand.
bucks?
I appreciate the trust.
No,
Is everyone good for a Nick game starting now?
Yeah, that's cool. Start the Nick game.
yeah, dude,
And there we go. The Nick game will start now. Again, if you missed the first round of the Nick game, how the game works is everybody will have the red knit button in front of them.
Yes.
The only way to relinquish that knit button is to win the hand and show the hand. The last player holding their button has to pay a tax of $10 to every player at the table.
Nick game.
So, like, hey, he's the only one that can do it.
Yeah,
Are y'all okay if I'm out on this? Because I don't think I can make it for the duration.
Yeah, you can just sit out here.
Okay.
It's not the actual button. You get like you get a marker. Like you see this red, you see those red buttons she's passing around. Dude, don't
Everybody
give it
with
to
me.
him. In order
Again,
to
I don't know if
get
I'm
rid of
gonna make
this, you
another
have
hour
to
and a
win a hand. and
How
show
long
the
did the
hand
last
that you
one
win with.
last?
maybe like half
And
an
then
hour.
once you
Oh, half an hour?
have a button,
Okay, fine, I'll be
the last
on.
person
I mean,
who
it's
throws their
9
button
hands.
has to pay $10 to each person or $80.
So it looks like after the deliberation, everybody's involved in the Nick game.
Okay.
Someone remind me.
Yeah, I'll sit next. If you win a hand, I'll remind you.
Raise 30. 100.
Bumping it up to 30 is Jesus, only to be 3-bet by #1 draft pick. But oh my goodness, Michael's got aces.
Raise 375.
It's gonna make it 375 to go.
5, 4, 6.
Ace 10 for Joe got game. And I think he can definitely find a fold to a 3 and 4 bet with this Ace X holding. Will find the fold. Jesus as well, and now draft pick with the queens. Looks like he's just gonna flat it. So let's see a low flop and see some fireworks. It is a low flop. Both players with an overpair to the board. Let's see just how chummy we can make the water. And draft pick checking over to Michael. And Michael with the aces. See just what he elects to bet here. Both players around the same area in stack size. And I can definitely see draft pick here going for the check raise. 275. No, he's just going to flat it. So away we go to the turn. It brings a jack into play. A gutter ball for draft pick now. Both players still with overpairs. The pot has bloated to $1,334. It goes check, check. And now the 7 will hit the river. Check from draft pick. And now Michael. We'll see if he just gives up and checks back or if he's going to go for any sort of value on this river.
Yeah. I didn't watch the video, no.
And there is a 4 straight on the board, needing a 9 to complete it. There's the bet from Michael. It's 400, and there's the snap call. Aces take down queens. Wow, wow, wow. A $2,300 pot. And Michael drags it in. Yeah, Michael went felt in the first half hour of our broadcast this evening and has roared to life, to say the absolute least.
No, I didn't have it. I thought you might have had it.
He is our biggest earner of the day now, up $3,100.
I had to go all in against Ace King. Yeah, I had too much money inside. He chopped it too.
Oh, that was that chop?
Yeah.
That's good to know. I hadn't seen the bluff yet.
That would have been the biggest fun.
6 is the book, everybody see?
Put in the 5.
Everybody see? 6. Can you? 9, 4. Action 1, 4.
Yeah, either have to fold pre-flop or steal the flop. Like once you get the flop, turn it
Raise 25, 4.
And now back-to-back hands with pocket pairs. Michael gonna bump it up to 25. This time with 8s.
Raise 85.
I've never.
6, 4. 7, 4.
It's nice because after the stream, like.
Benton with King 10 of clubs will stick around.
Yeah, I can't. These are like, I feel
You like the regular cards better?
Matter of fact, he'll do you one better. He'll bump it up to 85 to go. Dan with 10-9 offsuit.
When you like feel them, they're like. Oh, are you talking about
That noise when you feel your cards. Yeah.
Oh, these?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They're like it's like a clapping sound.
Yeah, it's way nicer than way nicer than the other
And now action back to Michael.
I don't like the feel of them better, but I like that noise better.
Oh yeah, I like that noise better too.
They do feel kind of
Does find the fold. Wow, discipline from Michael.
Are you in for 7 deuce? Yeah.
Everyone's in for
Well, I was
something.
making sure. I didn't ask him since
And still about 7 minutes left to register for the weekly 10K guarantee. If you're looking to take your shot at a lion's share of 10 grand, you got 7 more minutes to hightail it here.
Talk control check. Call.
Not check call river, but check turn call river.
3 is the book. Action
Turn
1,
jacks on
2,
me, so
3,
yeah,
4,
just call.
3, 4, 4, 5.
And Benton now with pocket jacks.
Raise 16.
Gonna make it $15 to go.
6, 4.
Ryan with a suited Dolly Parton. And Dan with ace high will stick around as well.
16, 3 players. 3 players.
Flop comes Jack high, 2 hearts. So flopping top set is Benton. Meanwhile, flopping 2 pair is Ryan as he just continues to run into buzzsaws. Ryan gonna bump it up to 75. Dan can easily fold at this point, but now Benton. Do you flat here? Or do you go for the jugular? Does just make the call. So we go to the river. To the turn, I apologize, as it gives us another heart. No player on a heart draw. And now Ryan is going to try to prevent the heart draw from getting there. He's going to bet 85 at it. And now Benton coming in with the raise, makes it 225. And just north of a 1-to-1 SPR. Has middle 2 pair. And no draw. Another 9 or a 5 would give a bigger full house to Benton. You can see Ryan is drawing completely dead. And Ryan will reluctantly fold his 2 pair, and a good fold it was.
That is extreme. That is extreme.
And just a reminder again, still plenty of flights left for the Spring Classic main event. Again, 2 flights tomorrow, 2 flights Saturday, and of course the turbo flight on Sunday morning. $600 buy-in, a $400,000 guarantee. Again, still plenty of time to throw your hat into the ring for the lion's share of $400 grand. Making it 30 to go with the suited connectors as Joe got game. Suited Jack for Mark and Benton with ace high to act. Does bring everybody along and flops the flush draw. Checks all the way through, I imagine. And no, here comes the bet from Joe with diamonds. Making it 100 to go is Mark. Interesting spot to check raise here. And right now, Mark does have the best hand with Jack high. And all in goes Joe. And Mark will make the fold. What a read Joe has on Mark.
Five-handed's a good time to get rid of the nib button.
Quick, you are right. Yeah. You're like, hurry up, do the next thing.
Who's still got their button? Okay.
Still a few people.
Try one less time and that gets through. God, that looks so strong. I was like, oh my god, why didn't he just put it there? What?
Are you fully river with queens there?
When he checks back turn, it looks like ace king a lot or kings.
It kind of does. I didn't know if it was like a last ditch effort to try and like take that.
I didn't really keep track of what the pot was, so I'm not sure. I can talk to you later about it.
What?
Look at 2 cards and then a third.
Yeah.
Looks like this hand is going to be played as Pot Limit Omaha.
3 and 4, 4, action 5, 4, 6.
Ace King 6-5 for Joe. Kings and the aces will stick around with interesting drawing hand, to say the least. You go 3 ways to the flop. Flop comes Jack high, 2 clubs. And no player holding clubs, but we go to the turn. Deuce of spades brings a spade draw into play. And checks all the way through as the board pairs 6s. So Joe got game, will take it down. Does bet at it on the river.
You're not gonna think about it for the nib button? Really? $10?
Oh, I forgot about that. I might have the best hand. I honestly forgot about that.
No, I had it.
Did you?
Yeah, you save yourself $10. I think I had it.
That was a jack. I figure when you say I got it, that's better than 1 pair.
Where is that again? Istanbul?
And you missed the button when you're the nip.
We were looking at Istanbul.
Priority.
Gorgeous. I want to go now.
You said you had been there, right? Yeah. A couple times.
2, 3, 4.
And look at this here, Ryan with ace king. Makes it 20 to go. Dan right behind him, however. Kings into aces with 7s.
Can't play well without these.
And we'll go 3 ways to the flop. 7s leading the way. The flop comes Jack 5, 6. Bet comes from Kings into aces, makes it 20 to go. Calling is ace king, and off we go to the turn. Brings the queen into play, so a gutter ball added to the outs for Ryan. Add the 10s to his ace and kings. And instead, the 8 will hit the turn, or hit the river. Boy, a little scrambled right now. But 7s are good as it goes check, check. Kings into aces will take it down.
How many buttons left?
Got one.
That was when you
Like,
when I had a
Fucking hate ace king.
bluff was ace 10, 10, king or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's
Oh, you had pocket jacks in hand?
Bottom,
Yeah.
put one, 12.
That hand just now?
no.
Oh, I was gonna say, hell no.
When he had the pocket 7 the last time I was like,
Straddle.
well, it was crazy like that. I couldn't.
3. 6 straddle. 6 1.
Oh, there.
So joining back to it, boy, it's just been a rough run tonight for Ryan. Waking up with some great hands. Unfortunately, when you have
Give me 2.
a hand like Ace King, can't hit the board. You just have 2 big cards. That's it.
6 4 4 6 5 raise. 30 6 7 8 9 4.
And making it 30 to go with these suited connectors. Jesus going to stick around with 9-7 offsuit. Meanwhile, Mark in the 4th seat is facing $24 more if he wants to make this call with the dog.
Two players.
So heads up we go, 8-7, 9-7.
2 players.
Stuck in my head.
Flop comes King High, King 5 Tray Rainbow.
Dude, they're so good.
Dead. 25.
You can see the face go into the palm of Mark over there when the camera cut back that direction. Don't blame him.
Like there's sharks, like
Yes.
so good.
Yeah,
He
that's,
has one that's like a fucking piece, like a weird soul snake or something.
yeah.
Actually, that song is a theme. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
No blind.
he has a really good album.
He's the one singing,
Straddle and
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but did you ever check him?
I never looked at his
Yeah,
individual
he's
stuff. He's got a great voice.
6 straddle.
He has one song. So I do everything. It's so funny.
6 3 can you please extend the cards? 6 no, it's not. You
It's
said
on you.
blind, yeah. 6 straddle is on you. Six 5 raise 25.
Ace King here for Benton this time.
8 raise a home.
Gonna bump it up, make it 25. Dan, King Queen.
1 4 2 4.
And Dan making it 100 to go. Benton with the no pair hand.
Raise 300.
And he's gonna bump it up again, make it 325 to go. And Benton not messing around. And good fold, good discipline from Dan. And in a state of sheer domination. Does find a way to make the fold.
You got one of them, homie.
Probably 4 back queen.
Jam that thing.
Even
For 1,000 bigs, jam that thing.
Dude, whenever I go dribble with the running game, it's like,
I bet you're.
Oh, no. Did you throw this?
6 straddle.
I was like, there's no way.
We're gonna see it eventually.
I was like, you deserve that.
I'll go back and look.
if that got through, then I had one of them.
Reverse
gives you
it,
a lot of
reverse it.
Not pocket.
6 is the best.
I believe that you had one of them. But
I had one of them too.
4 6 9 4.
yeah, take it
And we wait here for everything to catch up. Dan with Queen 10. Gets back around to draft pick, who makes it 40 to go.
You're on break.
Oh,
you hop
5
right
minutes?
in. Yeah, you hop in, 17 left, 3K up top. How do you not just go play?
For real. But what's starting stack?
It doesn't matter.
5, 6, 8, 2 diamonds on the flop.
I think 25. So you get
Okay, so you're gonna have
12
bigs.
bigs.
30,000.
How do you not just map that and just go play?
What's the buy-in?
240. And you're probably play for 3K up top. And there's 17 people left.
And draft pick gonna stick around with Ace Jack. 35, as a matter of fact, he's gonna fire at it.
The math says we should.
And when all the dust settles, it's just Ryan that'll stick around.
These still though.
And he does end up hitting a jack on the turn.
Can I keep my chips in here? Go red for like 10 minutes and then just try to double come back.
Take your chips off.
Bet coming from draft pick is going to be 105. The computer seems to think that Jesus still has a hand here.
So like the $4 blinds I can
Yeah.
I'll only probably take one maximum like 2 orbits to find out if you double it. $8 investment plus the time.
And he does end up making the call. We do go to a river. It's a 5 of spades. So 2 pair, jacks up will be good.
First like
Does end up checking it back, and ace jack good. And I'll get a chance there to relinquish the knit button, as you can see.
Quite frankly, I probably
You
was.
sit here for what, an hour? You're not gonna make this.
Glad it didn't. I made up my mind that you were full of.
it's like 15 days. I'll probably guess average size like 30. Or I mean, sorry, 30.
Raise 35.
Back.
Go us. If you're going to play the tournament, yeah, the value is really there.
If you haven't already marked the calendars, now's the time to do so, as the Poker Atlas Tour makes another stop at Texas Card House, Houston. In the 10th through the 22nd of April, we've got over $1 million in guarantees, and not to mention 16 trophy events, all culminating in a $500,000 guaranteed main event. And the festivities kick off on April 10th. And looking forward to some high-octane tournament action. Of course, we will have some streamed final tables for you. Stick around. We'll announce what events will be live streamed.
He said he thinks it's like 3K up top. But there's just like 3,000.
So we go 3 ways to the flop here. Flop comes ace high, rainbow, ace 6 tray.
I mean, it's gonna be tough.
Immediately checks through. We get the queen of diamonds. Pairing the sixes is Dan, and now he's got trips.
No, it's top 4.
Don't know if he can get any kind of value from the other holdings. Joe got game, gonna make the call with king high. And he will pay off Dan.
PLO hand.
I only call because you have it. Oh, you have it still? Made you apply it.
It's the first time I'm playing that shit. I have no idea. I don't think about it.
And it looks like Benton decided to jump into the tournament. So we will play 8-handed.
You gotta get in there, man.
Yeah, I hope everybody's been enjoying the show so far. Always a pleasure to spend Thursday nights with y'all.
Yeah, I saw like a YouTube video, like maybe like 8
Big hello to you, Tara. Hope your night's going well.
Actually got a damn Buster's profit off the prizes. Like they can just beat this one game.
That's what our friend Mark did. It's like
And this hand will be played as Pot Limit Omaha.
One with like the 5 like colors and you know like color like cover the sun or whatever.
And now draft pick with aces. Aces Queen 9. And for those who aren't in the know, they are playing with a reverse button. And whenever the dealer button and the reverse button meet, that hand will be played as Pot Limit Omaha. So when all the dust settles, we got 5 combatants going to see the flop.
There's those 2 down machines next to each other.
Flop comes 10 high, 2 clubs, 10, 5, deuce.
All the balls to one machine.
Aces out in front right now as we go to the turn. That'll bring the 8 of spades out to play.
Y'all do Vin David Busters together? Yeah. Oh, y'all friends?
Adding a gutter ball to draft picks repertoire already. Again, the aces right now are a monster.
Well, since they got rid of Milk Jug Toss, because I like to believe that I was the reason why. Across all Dave and Buster's.
Bet coming in from Dan. He's going to make it 60.
That's crazy.
Can pick up a 6 for his gutter ball. And he's going to chase away draft pick. Ryan as well. So Dan takes it down.
Your legacy made an impact.
Yeah. I like to imagine.
And it looks like after that PLO hand, we're going to have ourselves a dealer change. And you know what that means. It's time for another double board PLO bomb pot.
I need something good, right? What's the logistics of me going broke here? Do I still 70? I'm assuming, right?
This bomb pot doesn't count for that.
I know, but like in general.
All I gotta do is beat me. That ain't too hard, literally.
I'm giving you.
So if I go all in and you win, I go negative 80. Oh, correct.
You go negative.
That's gonna be great for my.
You say good night to Miss Kath and welcome into Rafe.
No.
Who will finish out our show this evening as the dealer.
I came here as like to see how much money I could lose. And I was like,
Are you in the bomb pot team?
Earlier, and it was like I heard. I saw
Mark?
Let's go,
Are you in
Mark.
the bomb pot?
What did they say? I saw
Oh, your
like a
friends
lot of-
just typed this alive?
Yeah, I saw like a lot of like, let's go, Mark.
Hell yeah. I'm rooting for Mark.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, not
right
in
now,
this
but
particular situation,
in general.
but overall, Mark's the man.
Yes. If it weren't for me, you all would need you need me.
False. They need both of us.
I like how someone just says false right off the bat. I love it. So again, Mark been a fantastic addition to the table. It's been a lot of fun to watch tonight.
I was gonna say, you can sit here for an hour. I have a really bad idea of how fast I run.
This is my guy. You gotta be careful.
I think it's
Oh, bomb pop.
That's why, yeah.
I keep.
That's why I put one of those down.
Let's go, Mark.
Alright, cards are
All right, let's get 2 boards to work with. 8 high, 2 diamonds. And king high, 2 clubs. Let's see what we are working with.
See 9 checks.
Check.
Couple of queens in the hand of kings into aces. Jesus has got himself a pocket pair of nines. He's also got a diamond draw. But everybody checks on through, so we go to the turns. And the board pairs on both.
One check, two checks. Three bet 60. 6 fold. 7 call 60. 8 fold. 9 call 60. 1 fold.
And 60 the bet's going to chase away. Good portion of the field here. 3 players remaining. Jack and king. Look at that. So quads or kings into aces on the bottom board. He's got that bottom board locked up, and it looks like Michael has the top board locked up with eights full of sixes. He'll bet 250 at it. Michael gonna make the call, and Ryan who's not in a good spot. Does have one of the 8s to his credit, but nothing to fill up with. And definitely a terrible spot to be in. And Ryan's been running into buzzsaws all night. And he does make the call in the end. Wow. So Michael has 8-6, kings into aces with quads. They're going to chop it up, and Ryan left fronting the bill for it.
Show your king before you put out the 250.
Jack king. Jack king. Jack king.
Who had Jack?
Oh.
Alright, bro.
I need to go to sleep. I guess it worked out that I can slide it. My bad.
I thought you had 6 in it.
Yeah, I still.
I thought you had 6 in it.
I thought I had one.
But I'm needing 2. I got aces and kings, right? So this would be kings with kings with.
Go again, friend.
Are you telling me that I was face up when I played that? Correct.
You go check, lead pot when the third king comes out on the ring.
Yeah, it's the only way to get.
And now with the bomb pot over,
Have jacks.
let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled hold'em. And again, while we get going, just another reminder, because I'm going to tell you till I'm blue in the face, about the Spring Classic main event. Again, kicked off last night, 2 flights today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Correct.
Not to mention the $600 turbo on Sunday morning, which will feed directly into the restart of day 2 later Sunday afternoon. Again, still plenty of chances to get involved. The $600 buy-in for the $400,000 guaranteed main event in the Spring Classic going on at Texas Card House Spring. And draft pick with aces under the gun. And it looks like there was a straddle, so the action's actually going to begin in the small blind. A big howdy to you too, Leif. Hope your Thursday is treating you very well. And just gonna bump it up to 35. But look for a second like he flatted, but Ryan with 9s. Oh boy. And the buzzsaws just keep coming to Ryan. He will just flat here and make the call for $35. Absolutely, Leif, taking the words right out of my mouth. Press that like button.
6.
The flop comes Jack, 10, Jack. Open ender for Dan, overpair, and a pair of 9s for Ryan. Dan will bet 50, draft pick gonna flat, and now we're heads up to the turn. It's the queen. That's gonna bring the open ender into fruition for Dan. The 6 will change absolutely nothing. We'll see if draft pick tries to fire. No, he wisely checks it. Just hoping to get the showdown here. Dan gonna fire. Gonna make it 125 to go. And gonna be hard not to make this call with aces. And will in fact make the call, and Dan will show him the straight.
Who do you want to play with the 7 deuce again? I was thinking you got a 7 deuce again.
And if you're looking to get on the list to play on the show, or even just to play in the main card room, here is how you do it. Go ahead, scan that QR code, the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. They'll put you on the wait list for whatever game you're looking for. Again, plenty of action from Texas Card House Houston. We got a game for everyone.
I tried to tell him. You were giving him the. I want to treat that. Maybe like a 50 time. I didn't fit it. He bet it on bluff, right? 50 bucks.
I've done putting a lot of weird spots tonight.
Well, at that point, I was thinking.
Alright, you all in it for the nip.
It's either this or
all in.
I realized.
If I lose, I know.
All in goes Mark with ace high. Ryan, I see him put the protection chip on the card. Got a little bit of a decision to make.
Put his best on
$10
everything.
bills. Have to play both flop. Have to get some change.
I can't just let you do it.
Again, Ryan with the other knit button.
Get out. There we go.
Let's go.
Wait.
One
Once or
time.
twice.
Looks like Ryan does make the call. It's going to be Mark against Ryan. Loser is going to end up
Are you
paying
showing or are you not showing?
the knit game tax.
Okay.
So we go to the flop, Mark and Ryan. going to war.
That's right. It's respect.
Yeah.
Flop is tray 5, tray. Ace high is good right now to the turn. Still good. Ace high is way good to the river.
Oh, you were so close.
Yeah, it looks like the queen of diamonds.
All right, how many are there?
Better be lucky than good.
So look at that. The buzzsaws just keep rolling the way of Ryan, as now he'll have to pay everybody the nit tax.
Did you have a button? Did you get rid of your button?
Yeah.
No, did you?
Even though he's in a trap.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay, I didn't know if you got here after or before you started.
There are some nights when you run like God himself, and some nights where you just can't seem to get a leg up anywhere.
Mark?
Like 10 minutes.
Mark? Shuffleboard Pro.
Here's your $10
Paying it forward. Paying it forward. You are the man. Oh, that was. I'm not.
That's pretty weak. For a pro, that was pretty weak.
You ready? Shortstop?
What is that?
It's your $10. Were you in the?
Yeah,
I don't.
he was, because I remember describing the game to him.
Did you have a
Yeah,
button?
yeah.
You are. It's you.
So what is that? That's
You
mine?
won $10, yes.
Why?
Because we just played the game. You were in the game and you won. You get 7%.
Would anybody else have called there had I not defended?
I was going to call him Ace 8.
I didn't have any. They all
Yeah.
chopped.
I would chop.
Yeah.
What is it? Chop would have negated it, right? That wouldn't have
It would not
Happens.
have been
Really, I got nothing to contradict the statement, Cam. It's 100% correct.
No, the hand was way too good to not try
Yeah,
it.
none of these guys. I was very early in position.
Yeah.
They're paying 3,800.
What you say?
They're paying 3,800 for first.
Yeah, I said it was going to be like 30 or 39.
38? Oh, why did I say?
Since it's 37, the paying 5 spot 2 is 36. They were going to
4 tray for Ryan. Gonna make the call. Meanwhile, kings into aces has himself some suited connectors. 7, 8 of diamonds. Gonna bump it up to 15. He's got one caller, and he'll bring Ryan along with him.
I'm keeping this until I get rid of it. We'll put it on again.
It really does, Cam. It really does. No matter how you say it, you can use pretty much any word to describe it. But look at this here as Jesus ends up flopping 2 pair, 6, 7.
One raises a 50.
And with a pair of 7s of his own, his kings into aces. Jesus gonna raise him though after he tries to continue. Ryan with the club draw. And it looks like kings into aces will relinquish his holding, so we go heads up. As now a 6 will hit. Jesus fills up. It goes check, check. Don't be a club. Don't be a club. Don't be. Oh, hasn't he suffered enough? Oh my goodness. So Ryan hits his flush on the river, but does check it. So we'll see if he can get away with losing the minimum here. It's a good question, Cam. I will get right on that after this hand has completed. A bet is 175. Boy, oh boy. You can see the smirk of Ryan there. He hits the flush he was looking for. Little does he know. Another buzzsaw coming right at him.
I got a baby one.
And there it is. The baby one's no good. 6 is full. Absolutely disgusting. And Kim, I'm so glad you asked, my friend. Best way to sign up for live stream. What's the schedule? Thought it was on Friday. That is very true. We do live stream on Fridays. We do so without commentary, though. And we do have a way for you to sign up right here. Again, we stream 1-2 No Limit without a commentator on Fridays as well as Saturdays. Pardon, not Saturdays, Fridays and Sundays. So this is your chance to get on those lists. You can scan that QR code, the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Also gives you a chance to sign up for some of the exhilarating action in the main card room, as well as future live streams.
I'm not finished with it. I still got
No,
it's
you
over.
paid
Fuck
it.
it.
You paid it.
I streamed that in 5 minutes, but
Yeah, it looks like we've got the Nick game going back on. Of course, the Nick game here will end long after the cameras stop rolling. Dan with Ace King gonna bump it up, make it 20 to go. Kings into aces, 7 deuce suited. Makes it 40, the min click on Dan.
I don't like to play against you, so you know that.
And Dan just gonna flat here, so Kings into aces looking for the 7 deuce bounty. As we go to the flop, heads up, 5, 6, 10. So Ace King still out front. Anytime, Cam, anytime. Kings into aces with just 3 outs right now, unless he can improve with another straight card on the turn. But he will bet at it here. 40 to go.
I have to beat you one time, and after that, this fate is gonna change.
It's an interesting way of looking at it, Cam. Interesting way of looking at it. The ace hits the turn, and now drawing completely dead is Kings into aces. Looks like it does go check. No, yes, maybe.
You have to count it like this.
40, 40, 80, plus another 40.
See what's going on here. The bet came in. It's 200. The bet from aces into kings. Dan, of course, calling. And the river brings a 7. Oh boy. Let's see if Kings into Aces elects to light any money on fire here. Let's go. Check. 7 deuce shown. 7 deuce, no good.
Last hand coming up, guys.
I'm trying it.
Last hand. Oh boy.
I don't know how to withdraw money here. I've never withdrawn anything.
And I did just get the unfortunate news from the production crew. This is going to be our final streamed hand of the evening. So it's been an absolute blast hanging out with everybody in chat tonight. And here's hoping the rest of your Thursday night is great and you have a great start to your weekend as well.
Probably the last time I'm playing poker, so.
You can do it all in one.
With what? What the fuck that flop?
No. With that would create this fucking.
Go blind, don't see it, Mark.
When you made 200?
No, when I made it.
Walk away.
I'm not I'm not just saying this, but the amount of times
Shit, I sure as hell hope
So away we go, Ryan. One more chance with a premium hand under the gun. We backtrack a bit to allow for the straddle, which means Mark with ace high will start things off.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, Tesla puts it.
And he's moving all in.
But I'm afraid I will pull.
Right behind him, Joe got game, king 4. All in for 254.
It's exciting. There's pretty much gambling going on here. A lot.
What was it?
And now Ryan with Kojak off suit.
Why leave here with 107?
We'll put him all in to call here.
Running back.
And on the final streamed hand, why not? Dan with suited connectors.
No, I have that. Didn't like my position, but I love my hand.
This one guy so I'm just jamming every hand. We were 5-handed. The first 3 people jammed.
Dan will fold out, as will aces into kings. Well played tonight, gentlemen. Jesus is gone. Draft pick, gone. Well played, Michael. Says no thank you. So here we go. One last run out. And why not? It's Ryan against Mark. Ace high versus king high.
Same thing! That's pretty strong. Oh wait, you had A6. You had A6.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. And there's a king in there. So Ryan takes the lead to the turn. There's the 9. And now, how about the river? It brings another king.
I got rid of the button.
He got rid of the button. Look at that. Ryan, hopefully trending in the right direction. Again, this game is going to be going well after these cameras stop rolling. So good luck, gentlemen. And a big thank you to every one of you in TCH Live Nation. Again, on behalf of TCH Live, the illustrious staff here at Texas Card House Houston, the big man, David Lagana, our executive producer, and Alan Lee, the action tracker for tonight, I am Wes Tucker. We will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
I said